Welcome to the Ellis Oval for another installment of Tufts University football. Today we have the Jumbos facing off against the Williams Eaves, and it's been quite some time since these two teams have faced off. Obviously we missed last year due to the pandemic, but glad to have some football back here for you today. I'm Sam Brill, and I'll be on the play-by-play commentary, joined by Noah Goldstein on the color commentary. Noah, talk to me a little bit about the history of these two teams, at least recently.
Well, Sam, first of all, it's very exciting to be here on this brand new turf here at Ellis Oval. Two teams coming in after having uneven weeks last week. Jumbos had a tough time and a loss away at Trinity. Pretty tough way to start the season. Williams had a big win versus Middlebury. Over the past couple of meetings, the Jumbos had been dominant until 2019. They'd won 5 in a row between these two teams. 2019, it was a very different story. Williams ended up taking a 44-8 victory in Williamstown. Quarterback Bobby Mamarone had nearly 300 yards passing, along with 4 passing touchdowns, 100 yards rushing, and a rushing touchdown. Frank Stola, the now senior receiver, had 220 yards of his own, along with 4 touchdowns. Sorry, everyone, you hear it's loud here. First game for the Jumbos here at home since 2019. So definitely an uneven game in 2019. We'll see if the Jumbos can do anything to make it a better matchup here today.
And you see now all of the uniformed players for the Jumbos running out onto the field now, of course, some sidelined by injury. But this is a pretty large roster. They've got about 105, and I know last night the JV team, mostly comprised of freshmen and sophomores, played and faced off against a high school team. So now we've got the coin toss in the middle. You'll see in the center of the field, Mike Padrini, not in uniform today. He's battling an injury with that right knee. So we'll see how the Jumbos can carry themselves in the backfield, mostly led by the junior Tyler Johnson. Noah, talk to me a little bit about the keys of the game for the Jumbos. Again, they're facing off against this Eaves team that took a game from Middlebury in Williamstown. So what do the Jumbos need to do really well to go up against this Williams team?
Well, Sam, we talked about Bobby Mamarone, the quarterback of the Eaves. He had a great game last week, had a great career at Williams so far. Williams runs often in that read option set. Mamarone takes the ball himself a lot. So the key to the game for the Jumbos today will be the linebackers having good games. Spencer Allgood, Maddie Juilliard, and Gio Arquia will be relied on heavily. Along with that, Frank Stola obviously gave the Jumbos fits in 2019. It'll be interesting to see how they line up at cornerback today. On the offensive side of the ball, I think we're going to need to see a big game out of Trayvon Woodson. He's very capable. He's very athletic. If the Jumbos can get him moving north and south and towards the sideline, he could cause havoc for that Williams defense.
Absolutely, and Woodson obviously more of a dual threat quarterback for the Jumbos. So we'll see who they decide to go with. Again, last week in the second half, the Jumbos opted to go with the sophomore Matt Crowley, who threw for 3 touchdowns, 2 to Billy Dunn, who also did not start the game. But a lot of talent and depth to these Jumbos teams, especially at the wide receiver position. You've got Dunn, of course. Starting for them is Paul Campo, O.J. Armstrong, and Jackson Butler, who broke off a 72-yard touchdown earlier in the game after slipping through the defender's hands. So we'll see how the Jumbos decide to manage the game as well. Williams holding over 39 minutes of possession last week against Middlebury, so it's pretty clear that they're going to be in full game manage mode as the Eaves now running out onto the field.
Yeah, that's what the Eaves like to do. As we mentioned, Sam, they like to run the football, and the Jumbos are going to have to force them out of their element, force them to throw the ball downfield and maybe make some mistakes.
Absolutely, and with that comes the incredible line play for the Jumbos, led by senior captain Jovan Nenadovic. It's going to be really important for him to contain on the edge this week to make sure Mamarone can't break off too many long runs. The inside's going to have to be disciplined as well. That's led by senior Uzochi Aparaji. We'll see really how the Jumbos defense holds up. Last week They had a 42 spot scored against them, so definitely not how you want to come out. But now we'll pause for the anthem.
America with the playing of our national anthem, as performed today by the Tufts Pep Band.
The Jumbo fans here very excited at the Ellis Oval. Seems that the crowds are pretty full, as you see on the opposite side. Williams bringing a significant number of fans to the game as well, but even the cheer squad looks increased from previous years. The Pep Band looking pretty big on that far side end zone. But Noah, we were talking a little bit about that defensive line earlier. What do they have to do today to make sure Mameron doesn't take this game over? He had almost 300 yards of total offense last week.
Well, they're certainly going to have to apply pressure. That's always a non-negotiable, pretty much no matter what type of team you're playing. But I also think they're going to have to be aware. They're going to have to be very knowledgeable of where Bobby Mameron is at all times and what he's trying to do. Read his eyes, know what he's looking to do, if he's going to throw the ball, if he's going to take it himself. He's always a threat. They're the first line of defense. The linebackers are the second. Going to have to work together. Can't afford miscommunications, or else Mameron will make them pay. And it's a tough matchup for sure, but hopefully they're capable. I believe that they are.
Now it looks like the Jumbos are set back to receive the opening kickoff for the Eaves. It'll be Ivan Shurin to kick off. Their special team still getting set. Referees getting set. And this long anticipated kickoff here at the Ellis Oval is just about underway. We've got 21 seconds on the paused play clock here.
John Andre's back deep. Wouldn't it be quite a spark for him to take one a good distance to start this game out? The Jumbos could certainly use some momentum coming off of last week's tough loss.
Certainly would be. And John Andre returned 3 kicks last week for an average of about 20 yards. He's got it. Gets through. But brought down there by the Eaves at around the 20.
Yeah, not much room for Andre to run there. He had a tough task in front of him, was able to make the most of it, but not a great return for the Jumbos.
And now the Jumbo offense getting ready to hustle out onto the field. They're led by quarterback Trayvon Woodson, the junior from New York, New York.
I'd like to see what the Jumbos are going to scheme up here. I'd love to see Woodson out and running on the first play. Let the Williams defense know what he has speed-wise.
And Williams stacking the box from the get-go. You've got Tyler Johnson in the backfield. In motion's Armstrong. It's handed off to Johnson. Johnson gets a nice block and a gain of about 8.
Really nice start for the Jumbos. Developing this run game could have the Eaves defense on its heels.
And they're playing quick. So Woodson now set back again. Armstrong once again in motion. Woodson hands off to Johnson, who gets through and gets the first down. So Jumbos getting on the ground early for a quick first down through 2 plays.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Jumbos run the same play twice in a row. Good results both times. O.J. Armstrong coming in motion there, and Tyler Johnson going up the middle, following his blocks, able to pick up that first down.
And he got a great block from the tight end, Josh Merriweather, on the left side. But Johnson just using his legs, keeping it moving, and picking it up. Woodson now set back again, slightly different formation. No motion. Gives it to Johnson, who breaks it out to the outside. Gets through, and Johnson, he's running. He's got one man to beat. Takes him down to the 20, and Tyler Johnson breaks off a long run, brings the Jumbos into the red zone early.
What a run by Tyler Johnson there. Following his blocks, was able to bounce it outside, had some room to run, and he's got speed when he's out in the open. Great run and an excellent start for the Jumbos.
And a great job by Johnson to keep that moving to the outside. 49 yards for Tyler Johnson on that third run of the game. And the Jumbos keeping the ball on the ground. Again, they scored a touchdown on their opening drive last week. We'll see if they can look to put some points on the board. They're certainly in striking distance down there in the red zone. Woodson set back. Johnson to his left. Running trips to the right. Johnson in motion. Woodson, he'll take it himself and tripped up there. Nice play by TJ Rothman, the senior linebacker.
Rothman has had a long career at Williams. He's been a great player there. He had an interception last week. Really strong linebacker play for this defense, which they rely on heavily.
And in comes Phil Lutz, out comes Josh Merriweather for the Jumbos. Billy Dunn set out on the bottom of the screen. He switches with Armstrong. Now Woodson set back, Johnson to his left. Woodson hands off to Johnson. Johnson keeps those legs moving, and it looks like it'll be a gain of about 3.
You wonder what Coach Savetti saw watching film this week. A lot of these cross formation runs from Tyler Johnson so far out of the shotgun. I think all of them have looked very similar.
Right, and it looks like some extracurricular activity after the play. That's Ian Devine. Looked like he fell over. Not sure who this penalty is going to be on, but things getting a little chippy there early.
Devine comes off the field there with Cameron Smith coming in.
And it looks like this one will be called against the Eaves. Seems like an unsportsmanlike conduct, so that one is going to give the Jumbos a couple of yards and maybe a first down. Merriweather coming back in. Phil Lutz out. Again, Merriweather, that big body, 6'3", 250, the junior from Nashville, Tennessee. Looks like the Jumbos could be running a little bit of a bigger set, trying to get Johnson into the end zone.
Yeah, no messing around here. The Jumbos need to put 7 on the board. So far, the run game has worked effectively. No reason to go away from that and take any chances in the air, I don't think.
Absolutely. Everything on the ground so far. Jumbos managing the clock well. 12:38. And Woodson fakes one guy out, makes one miss, but ultimately wrapped up by the Eaves.
That looks like a type of read option play for Woodson there. He pulled it out of the chest of Tyler Johnson, looked to throw it himself, nothing there. Defense was on him quickly.
And now 2nd and 10 for the Jumbos. Set out wide is Jackson Butler with 2 at the top. That's Armstrong and Billy Dunn.
It's a really important play to at least get to 3rd and manageable.
Armstrong in motion. Merriweather, the tight end. Woodson. Set back. Puts it up to his man, Merriweather, who makes the one-handed grab in the end zone to put the Jumbos on the board. That'll be 6 on the opening drive.
What a catch by Josh Merriweather there. Brought it in with the right hand into the left, and the Jumbos are on the board.
And an absolutely beautiful ball there from Trayvon Woodson, making sure to keep that ball away from the defender, putting it in a place where Merriweather could make a play on it, and he did just that. An absolutely phenomenal catch by Merriweather with one hand. It'll be Sal Lococo, the freshman kicker from Massachusetts, for the extra point. And that one's up and blocked by the Eaves. Lococo was 4 of 4 last week on extra points, but that one blocked by Williams.
Sam, as you mentioned, a great toss there by Trevon Woodson. He put it right where his man could get it and his man only. Mayweather made the play, and the Jumbos have a 6-0 lead. Really impressive first drive, and pretty much exactly what we said they needed to do. They needed to put that Williams defense on their heels. They ran a lot of hurry-up, and they put the pressure on them in the running game. First time they put it in the air, a touchdown.
Absolutely, and it was the great block there on the outside between Daisy and Hurahan that let Johnson get to the outside on that 49-yard run. So excellent play by that offensive line, giving Woodson some time, but he's got to be careful there with that read option play. Making that incorrect read could certainly be costly late in the game, and he made it once or twice, so we'll see how that shapes out the rest of the way. But now the Eaves set back to receive the kickoff. It'll be Patrick Walsh.
You know, Mike Pedrini out this week for the Jumbos, the senior running back, 3-time captain, obviously contributes a lot to this offense. We're seeing a little bit of a different look with Tyler Johnson. Has a little bit of speed. Looked great on that first drive. Maybe it's just the piece that the Jumbos need to get this thing going offensively.
And that one out the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So the Eaves offense set to come on the field again, led by senior quarterback Bobby Mameron. We'll see what he's got in this one. Last week, compiling almost 300 yards of total offense. So Mameron, certainly an offensive weapon, looks to run the offense through him.
Mameron's going to take a lot of these shotgun snaps with a running back to his right or left. We'll see if he gives it to him.
And a quick passing play on the outside. That's Mike DeGasperis for a quick gain of 7, I believe.
DeGasperis had a nice week last week, going for 4 receptions for 53 yards versus Trinity.
Now Mameron set back again to his left. Joel Nicholas. Mameron now. Fixing his offensive set. He's got a couple of guys out wide. Now flips the play, puts Nicholas to his right.
He's going to have to be careful here. Only 5 seconds on the clock.
Mameron at a flag. Mameron takes a shot downfield. That's Stola, but out of his reach and out of bounds. We'll see what the penalty was.
Interesting there. Frank Stola, as we mentioned, will be a key player for this Eaves team. On that toss, Stola had separation. The closest man to him was Spencer Oligood, the linebacker. You have to imagine that's a matchup that the Jumbos do not want to see often in this one.
Absolutely, and it looks like the penalty would be a false start, but the official's not killing the play. So a 5-yard penalty looks like we'll repeat second down. The Eaves will be 2nd and 7 with 11:03 left to go in this first quarter. The Jumbos lead 6-0 after that opening drive. Touchdown pass, catch by Josh Merriweather. Eaves now set back. Mameron to his left.
Brandon Jones now on Frank Stola out wide.
And Mameron wrapped up there. A great penetration by the Jumbos. That's number 92, Dom Haley, bringing down Mameron. So it'll be 3rd and long for this Eaves offense. But we got, looks like a bit of an injury timeout. Michael Butler running off the field.
Dom Haley was in the backfield before Bobby Mameron could even look up. A heck of a play there for Haley. And a really good start for this defensive line of the Jumbos.
Absolutely, and really an incredible job by Haley to penetrate through that big Williams defense. They've got a couple of 300-pounders on that line. But Haley, those tackles for loss are going to be really big. 3rd and long for the Eaves, a position that they didn't see themselves much in last week. Again, their offense runs through Mameron. They've got a lot of quick, chippy runs, but the Jumbos able to stop them so far. 3rd and 10 here for Mameron.
Yeah, big play here. Mameron's going to be forced to go to the air most likely. But the Jumbos linebackers do have to make sure to keep an eye on him because he's not afraid to scramble even in these types of situations. They'll have to be careful here because you don't want to drop back too far and let Mameron take his space, but you also can't let him beat you downfield. That's what makes him such a dangerous player.
Right, and the matchup I'm looking at here is going to be at the bottom of your screen. You've got Brandon Jones against Stola. Again, Jones the smaller. He stands at about 5'9". Stola standing at 6 feet tall, but Jones quick, and he's got pretty good hands too. So that's the matchup I'm looking at. We'll see if Mameron's looking the same way. A running back to his right. Man in motion. That's DeGasperis. Mameron looks downfield, and that one's caught. Jumbo's pleading their case for a dropped pass, but that one is complete to Bedard.
Really nice throw and catch there from Mameron and Bedard. Bedard found a seam in the offense and hit it. As you mentioned, it was good coverage on the outside. Bedard getting through there, and a really nice job by Mameron to avoid the tackle and make that throw.
And the Eaves going back to the ground, but he's wrapped up there. Looked like Uzochi Aparaji in the backfield making that tackle. A gain of 0 on the play, and the Eaves now at midfield after that gain.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to scheme up defensively, right? You either take away supporting options or you try and take away the main option. In this case, that'd be Mameron. So far, the Jumbos have done a really nice job against some of the supporting options of this Eaves team. Right there, that was Dan Vaughn. Hit right when he got the ball.
Now Nicholas in the backfield to Mameron's left. Jumbos have done a pretty good job defending that read option so far. Mameron accepts the snap. Another read option. Gives it to the running back. And the Jumbos got to make a tackle on that outside, and they do. A great tackle from Brandon Jones.
What a tackle by Brandon Jones there, coming to help up from his cornerback spot and wrap up by the legs. You know, that's a great tackle because even if he can't bring him down there, he's slowing him down until other tacklers can come from that Jumbo defense. That time he's able to wrestle him down himself and set up a 3rd and long for this Eaves offense.
Now set back for the Eaves. It'll be Mameron again under center. It'll be Dan Vaughn to his right. The Eaves running too high. Looks like Stola there on the top of the screen. Now Mameron takes the snap, looks for Stola, looking to run now. And that one to number 31, Justin Burke, but no catch out of bounds. That one bobbled. Jumbo's getting a little bit of a lucky break there. And on 4th and 7, we'll see what the Eaves decide to do. Mameron staying on the field, but now trotting off. The Eaves will punt.
I got to say, that was great pocket presence from Bobby Mameron. He saw the pressure, able to leak out to his right and make a great throw, just unable to bring it in where the Eaves, and they will be forced to punt. The Jumbos get a stop. Can't think of a better way for this team to start this game than the Jumbos have so far. Can you, Sam?
I certainly cannot. All the momentum on the side of the Jumbos, but Schreibstein, the experienced punter for Williams, set back. John Andre to receive. Takes a Jumbo's bounce and heads out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Sam, you mentioned Schreibstein being an experienced punter. He had a heck of a week last week, including a 71-yard punt. You don't see that type of thing at the high school, college, or NFL level. It's pretty much unheard of, but it was a great one, and it pinned their opponent, Middlebury, inside the 5.
So now hustling back out for the Jumbos is Trayvon Woodson. To his left, it'll be Tyler Johnson. Jumbos running a 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end set. Merriweather to block. Woodson, read option, hands it off to Johnson for looks like a gain of 0.
Nick Swift getting a little bit physical with some Williams defenders after the play, getting shoved around a little, putting his hands to the side, saying, look, it's not me, it's not me. No call from that one. Well, that's something to watch throughout this game. Swift is obviously a steadying force for this Jumbo's offensive line.
Right, it's Swift, the senior, again, pleading his case. Woodson in the backfield, Johnson to his right. Taking a little bit of time off this play clock. accepts the snap, looks to his receivers, now looking to run. He's wrapped up in the backfield, and that's a sack for Ian Devine, the first on the day for him. He had a half a sack last week and half of a tackle for loss, 4 tackles last week, and a sack there for him puts the Jumbos at 3rd and long.
I think that's just a little bit too much time. Trevon Woodson took his time, and I think it was at that point time to throw it away. He was unable to do so. Devine able to make him pay and put him in the ground. It was good blocking on the left side. Devine was able to come around on the right.
Now Woodson, they bring pressure. Woodson trying to shake himself out of it, but brought down again. Looks like it'll be another tackle for loss and some extracurricular activity, another flag on the play.
We'll see what this one is, because the Jumbos are slated for a dangerous punt from their own end zone if it stands.
And that's Rothman signaling that he thinks this one's going to be against the Jumbos. We'll see which way it does go, but the Jumbos pinned back. Looks like potentially a 4th down situation. Could bring on Patrick Walsh, the punter. Looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 52, his first of the game.
That one's against Kieran Hourahan.
It's going to pin the Jumbos back really deep for this punt and put it in a pretty dangerous spot. First of all, to try and get the punt off, everything has to go well when you're in this type of set, from punting from your own end zone. And then beyond that, Williams is sure to get the ball in good field position.
Right, and Hourahan, the senior leader, not his first time on the field, so getting a little chippy. Ultimately, the officials thinking that's too chippy. But Patrick Walsh now set at the back of the end zone to punt, to receive the punt at midfield for the Eaves. Can't exactly see a number there, but Walsh gets it off. Fair caught at midfield by Stola. And that'll bring the Williams offense back on the field. A short field for the Eaves. They gain about 10 yards on that series by the Jumbos. So 7:01 left here in this first quarter. And Bobby Mameron set to bring the Eaves back on, operating with the short field quite a bit last week. Again, 3 interceptions from the defense.
Right, only 39 yards to go here for the Eaves. Not an ideal drive from the Jumbos. The things we saw go well in the first drive did not in the second. They weren't able to establish the run. They didn't try as hard as they did on that first drive. Really pretty disastrous drive. And now the defense is left out with 39 yards.
And 2 running backs in the backfield next to Mameron. He hands it off to his man.
That's
out on the outside, that's Joel Nicholas for a gain of about 20.
Joel Nicholas wasn't touched for 15 yards there. That can't happen for this Jumbo D. Really nice blocking from the Williams offensive line. At least in theory, we'll see what this yellow flag is.
Flag on the play. Nenadovic signaling he thinks this one's coming back. And a hold on the offense, so that erases that 25-yard run and some.
That is a big call against this Eaves offensive line. Just when we thought they'd had a huge gainer that would have opened up the offense. Although they won't blow it all the way back. They'll bring it back to, it looks like, the 37.
So now, first down still. Looks like 1st and 8.
After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 7 for Williams.
1st and 7. Mameron now set back. 1 running back. 3 wide receivers set. Mameron fakes to his back, looks deep,
Turn.
And a lot of contact in the end zone. And the officials throwing that flag. We'll see who the call is on.
Yeah, there needed to be a turn there, I believe, from the Jumbo's defensive back. There wasn't.
Some hand fighting there with Jonathan O'Neill. We'll see. They call this one pass interference, waiting for the call from the officials.
Defense.
Yeah, O'Neill had good coverage. He was right there with him. He needed to turn his head and play the ball. He wasn't able to do so, and that's going to be a penalty pretty much every time.
And a rough call there against the Jumbos, but not insurmountable. Williams just outside the red zone at this point. Bobby Mameron set back, and to his right, that's Joel Nicholas.
The Jumbos can't really afford these penalties versus this type of offense. They're going to have to clean it up.
Mameron adjusting his blockers. Nicholas to his left now. And a direct snap to Nicholas. Brought down there, though, by Spencer Allagood.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Allagood to stop that from being a bigger gain than it was. If this Eaves offense is able to run the ball, that's what they want to do, right? They want to establish this run. They've got two capable backs along with a quarterback who loves running the ball himself. This is what it's going to boil down to. The battle in the trenches between this Eaves offensive line and the Jumbo's defensive line, and who can force the other team into a position they don't want to be in.
Now Nadancy at the top against DeGasperis. Jones on Stola. Fake to the back. And that one just out of the reach of the Williams receiver. Looked like Stola. And it looked like the Jumbos got away with a little bit of post-play hit. Rather intended for Justin Burke, but the Jumbos getting away with a little bit of a hit post-play.
Telling you, Burke has now had separation twice. I don't think the Jumbos are paying as much attention to him as they are to Stola and DeGasperis, but Burke had that open opportunity on the sideline. That one there was probably a walk-in touchdown if him and Mameron could have connected.
Now 3rd and 6. Mameron hands it off. That one gets through. Can't tell if it's a first down. Looks like it'll be just short. 4th and 1. But the Jumbos with a key stop there. We'll see if the Eaves do decide to go for it. 4th down and 1. Mameron looking over to his sideline. Looks like they're going to go for it.
This is the type of play that can dictate the way this game goes. With Mameron and the things that he's able to do, you have to think that he is a threat to tuck this ball and take it himself.
Now Mameron set back to Gasperis in motion. He stops to his right. That's Nicholas. To Gasperis. Still on the outside. Get it to the running back on the inside. Still turning for yards, and he's got that first down easily.
Nice job there by the Eaves offensive line, able to push back the Jumbo defensive front and let him go for that 2-yard pickup. 1 was all he needed. He got 2 or 3, and it will be 1st and goal.
And ultimately wrapped up by Nenadovic. The Jumbos now first guarding against a 1st and 10 in the red zone for Bobby Mameron and these Williams Eaves.
Really nice play call there by the Williams coaching staff, knowing they don't have to do too much to pick up that first down. Just do what they're good at. Go north and south. Able to do so.
DeGasperis in motion. Mameron, he still got it. Looking to run to the outside. Beating Allagood to that pylon, and he gets in. Touchdown, Bobby Mameron. We talked about it pregame, but Mameron taking it to the outside himself.
Mameron with very good vision there. I honestly do not think he really wanted to run that ball. He stepped up like he was looking for a type of jump throw over offensive line. Wasn't there, but he had a lot of green grass, or new turf, I should say, at Ellis Oval in front of him. He took it, and an easy touchdown for Bobby Mameron. The Eaves trying to go ahead with this extra point.
And Ivan Shurin that one up and straight through the uprights. So the Eaves take a 7-6 lead here after that score from Mameron. Jumbo's not doing a good enough job keeping contained there, and Mameron really just made something out of nothing. A bit of a broken play, but finds the end zone for the Eaves. They lead 7-6.
I would say that what we've seen so far from both teams is the importance of the running game, right? When the Jumbos had that dominant first drive, it was pretty much all on the ground until that touchdown toss. Unable to start the drive with a bigger run on their last one. Gave that short field to Williams, who marched down, and able to do it all on the ground. Whichever team is able to stop that run is likely to win this game, in my opinion.
Right, and we talked about it a little bit before about clock management and really game management overall, but the Eaves to a slight advantage so far. They've got 6:06 in terms of time of possession, and the Jumbos have 4:53. So now set back to kick for the Eaves. It'll be Shurin. Andre back for the Jumbos. He's got it and taking it out. Andre's got a little bit of space in the middle, but ultimately brought down by the Eaves at about the 22.
I got to say, those are two great kicks by Shurin on the 2 kickoffs so far. He's made Andre make the decision of whether or not to bring it out from the right side of the end zone. Put it right on the line as well, made it a tough decision, and good coverage by the Williams special teams.
Now bringing it back out for the Jumbos, it'll be Woodson. Tyler Johnson to his right. Woodson, he receives the snap. Hands it off to Johnson, who gets wrapped up by that big Williams defensive front.
We've seen that same play a lot of times from Woodson and Johnson. I think it's a matter of time until Woodson tucks it, keeps it himself, and possibly goes for a big gain.
Right, and the Jumbos still yet to play a lot with their short passing game. We've got a couple of big receivers in there between Billy Dunn and Jackson Butler. Back now, Woodson, Johnson to his right. Woodson takes a snap. Looks deep, he'll tuck it and run himself. Makes a man miss, makes another man miss, and picks up the first down.
Nice run by Trevon Woodson. That's exactly what he can do. He can throw the ball, but he can also run it too. Right there, he looked around. I think he was looking for O.J. Armstrong. Armstrong wasn't open yet. Woodson decided not to take time. He adjusted after that first drive where he let a little bit too much pressure get to him. Took too much time. Right there, tuck it, decisive run, nice gain.
And a great job by Swift as well to open up that outside. Johnson picking it up and tackled there by T.J. Rothman, the middle linebacker.
Rothman very active from that middle linebacker spot. Johnson was stumbling and able to pick up a couple yards on the sort of bear crawl. Rothman didn't let him go any farther.
Jumbo's now 2nd and 5, just about at midfield. Woodson set back with Armstrong, Butler, and Billy Dunn. Merriweather in motion, comes over to his left. Woodson accepts the snap, gives it off to Johnson, and Johnson through the middle. That'll be a first down for Tyler Johnson, and they'll blow this play dead after a gain of 7. Official at the top, running across.
Good initial push from the offensive line. Great second effort from Tyler Johnson, able to get 1 or 2 more and pick up that first down.
And Dylan Daisy and Blair Horning opening up that hole for the Jumbos. Now the Jumbos looking over to their sideline, just across midfield, 1st and 10 on the Williams 47 with 1:48 left to go here in this first quarter. Again, Jumbos trail by 1, score of 7-6.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. I think they've run pretty much every play out of a shotgun formation.
A little bit of motion. Johnson, he's got it. Looks like a gain of about 2, but wrapped up there by Rothman again. Rothman's doing a really good job there penetrating that Jumbo's offensive front and reading that run by Johnson. Jumbo's again running that play, though, with Armstrong in motion. We'll see if they give the Eaves a different look. Woodson set back. He accepts the snap. Takes it himself on the bootleg. Makes one man miss, but wrapped up by Williams.
Trevon Woodson just unable to get out of that tackle and pick up a larger sum of yards there. But a good job. Again, decisive running. Quickly changing gear from going east-west to north-south. And a good gain to make this a 3rd and 7 instead of a 3rd and 10 or 11.
Now Woodson accepts the snap. Williams brings pressure. He dumps it off to Johnson, who's got some space. Johnson securing the edge, makes a man miss, and ultimately brought down at the Williams 16. That's number 16 on the tackle, Drew Michalik as well. And the Jumbo crowd is getting into it.
Well set up play there. And the Jumbo offensive line got out, leaked out, and able to set up blocks downfield for Tyler Johnson, who had all the room in the world to run. Nice gain.
Woodson takes it himself, but wrapped up. But what I was going to say before Woodson went hurry up was that we might have seen freshman Woodson try to shake through all that pressure. But now junior Woodson checking it down to his man, Tyler Johnson, who picks up a nice game.
Really well schemed play there, too.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. It'll be 2nd and 6 on the Williams 14 when we return. But the Jumbos trailing by 1 here in the first half.
You know, Sam, I think if you're the Jumbo coaching staff, you have to feel great about how this game's gone so far. They've run the ball very well. Trevon Woodson has looked poised and decisive from the quarterback position. Tyler Johnson has been incredible. Again, this guy was not the starting running back last week against Trinity. He has not started a game as a Jumbo so far. Great burst, really patient running from Johnson. On the defensive end, first drive, solid job done. Second drive, it's tough to give a Williams Eaves offense 39 yards to go. They almost held them on that 4th down, couldn't do so. But the defensive line has held up well so far defensively. I think the Jumbos have to be very happy.
I have been a little bit surprised, but the Jumbos have done everything right so far. They've got almost 9 minutes of possession in that first quarter, so managing the game very well. We talked about it pregame, but the Jumbos doing it here, and that's what's been keeping them tight so far. It'll be Trevon Woodson set back for the Jumbos. To his right, though, it will be a different running back. It'll be Andre Smith, the freshman, a little bit smaller than Johnson, but Johnson's been getting a good number of snaps so far. And immediately Smith missing his block, and the Williams Eaves putting Trevon Woodson back on the ground, and a sack. It'll be 3rd and long. TJ Rothman on the sack.
I don't know if the Jumbos were trying to set up a screenplay or something there. You rarely see 3 defenders so immediately in the backfield like you did there. I think the play call may have been a throw to Andre Smith and letting the Eaves come through. Unfortunately, too quick. Woodson swallowed up, and it's going to be a 3rd and very long.
And we've seen Williams stack the box quite a few times on 3rd down, but the Eaves calling a timeout, realizing they're out of defensive position. So that the second timeout for the Eaves here in the first half, 14:24 left to play. The Jumbos will talk this one over before 3rd and 14 on the Williams 22.
Yeah, this is a big play for the Jumbos here. I'm interested to see what they go to. I think that you don't want to take a risk of throwing the ball deep towards the end zone if it's not really there, because a pretty manageable 39-yard field goal as of right now. I think that the Jumbos would have some faith in hitting one of those. So I'm interested to see what they do here. I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of draw play, maybe even a quarterback draw, design Trevon Woodson run.
And it looks like Patrick Walsh come on for a field goal if need be. It could also be Lococo. Back now for the Jumbos. It's Woodson again with Johnson to his right. 3 receiver set with a tight end in there as well. Woodson looking at the end zone, but just overthrows his man. That's number 13, Phil Lutz, the junior from North Caldwell, New Jersey, but unable to make a play on that. And Lococo on for the field goal. It'll be John Andre on the hold.
Yeah, that's a shame there. Lutz was able to get some separation, but Woodson smartly did not want to put that ball in danger, especially with the crossing routes run by Lutz and Armstrong. A lot of defenders in one place. Smart play.
And that one up for Lococo. And no good wide left. Lococo disappointed with himself. He's missed both so far in this one, and certainly could be a momentum shifter here at the Ellis Oval.
Really tough drive for the Jumbos to not walk away with any points. That was, again,
Lococo making sure that he remains with a short-term memory, because the Jumbos could use him later in this fence. Back on the field for Tufts, looking to stop Bobby Mameron.
Yeah, interesting to see Lococo take that kick today. Lococo went 4 for 4 on extra points last week. Patrick Walsh attempted the only field goal, though.
Mameron hands it off to his man. That's Nicholas, and he's wrapped up.
Spencer Allagood buried him in the turf there.
Right, and Allagood doing a really good job containing that edge, not giving Joel Nicholas any space. A gain of 2 for the Eaves just here at the beginning of the second quarter. Bobby Mameron now set back to receive another snap to his right. That'll be Dan Vaughn. Stola set out wide with two more wide receivers on the other side. Mameron now takes the snap and fakes the throw, but wrapped up there by the Jumbo's defensive front.
Really nice penetration there from the Jumbo defensive line. A lot of guys working together there. Really nicely done.
And the 6'4", 250-pound defensive tackle, Michael Butler, on the stop for the Jumbos there. No gain on the play. Looks like it'll be about 3rd and 8 for the Eaves. 3rd and long, just where the Jumbos want them, but Bobby Mameron, again, an offensive weapon.
Yeah, got to be careful. Looks to be single coverage from these two corners.
And on the bootleg, he pauses, throws, but just out of the reach of his man, Ethan McCulloch.
What a great possession for the Jumbos there. You know, it's tough momentum-wise. You go all that way, you don't score. You give the ball back. If the Eaves were able to have a long drive there, I think it would have sucked a lot of wind out of what the good things the Jumbos have done. Instead, 3-and-out forced. Should get the ball in decent field position, ready to go again. That's a great job done by the Jumbo defense in a really crucial time in the game.
And John Andre set back for the Jumbos, looking to receive the punt off the foot of Andrew Schreibstein. Again, the experienced punter. Looks like a Jumbo may come in unblocked, though. Schreibstein gets it off.
That kick was nearly blocked.
And Andre looking for no part of that. It bounces out of bounds at the Jumbo 38. So the Jumbos, not exactly a short field for them here, but certainly a manageable distance.
Sam, you mentioned that good pressure there. Drew Guida came in flying. It looks like it almost went right between his two arms outstretched, and the kick was able to get away. It could have been some fireworks for sure. Instead, the Jumbos start at their own 38.
Now the Jumbos set back in their offensive set again. Woodson behind center. Johnson to his right, just behind him. Armstrong in motion. That's a handoff to Johnson, but he's wrapped up behind and brought down. First one to get there, it looked like it was Rothman.
You know, you mentioned again O.J. Armstrong. He's been in motion a number of times today. So far, hasn't gotten a touch. I think the Jumbos need to utilize O.J. O.J. had a great season 2 years ago in 2019. He's a runner on the track team, one of the fastest guys in the NESCAC, and has great hands as well.
And Woodson takes it himself. He's got a couple guys to beat. Gets out to the 45. Gives the Jumbos a 3rd and 5 here, rather 3rd and 4. And a good stop by the Eaves. Had Woodson tripped up, just diving for a couple more yards. Woodson now on the 3rd down.
Big play here.
Woodson looked for Campo, looks downfield, still looking, and a dead play. Jumbos with the catch. We'll see if he stayed in bounds. And the official coming down the sideline saying he did. A great catch by the Jumbos. I missed the number.
That was a heck of a play, and a great job by Trevon Wilson to keep the play alive and get that first down. And a nice catch made alongside the sideline.
Sounds like it was Tyler Johnson on the catch. Woodson set back. He's got it, looks for his man on the check down.
That's Andre Smith, the second running back. I think that may have been the play they wanted to run in the red zone last time.
But again, on that previous play, Jumbo's doing a good job. Eaves not bringing quite enough pressure. But Woodson, we've seen him do it once. We're watching him do it now. He's really calm and collected, even when that pressure is coming at him.
I can't get over that play on 3rd down. I cannot believe he was able to keep it alive and make that throw on the run. Tyler Johnson with a heck of a catch, and the Jumbos are in business.
Now Smith in the backfield behind Trayvon Woodson. Paul Campo looks like single coverage. They'll hand it off to Andre Smith, but he's wrapped up and brought down. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Tufts.
You know, I'm a little shocked they didn't do it there. I think this is an opportunity to take a shot. When you're at the Eaves 35, you're going to go for it on fourth down, fourth and short, 4th and 3. I'd look for the Jumbos to maybe take a chance downfield here, throw the ball, hope that something dangerous happens.
And on 3rd down, the Jumbos have Lutz and Jackson Butler set out wide with Paul Campo. Woodson with Johnson next to him in the backfield. O.J. Armstrong in there in the slot as well. Woodson, a shot downfield for Campo, but just out of his reach. It'll be 4th and 3 for the Jumbos. We'll see what Coach Savetti decides to do here.
We were looking for the shot play. I think that's the first one we've seen so far. It was a good look. Campo had a little bit of separation. Really tough to put that ball in where it needed to be. But a good chance for the Jumbos. No sweat. 4th and 3 now, and a big play.
And at the Eaves 36, the Jumbos will run another play at 4th and 3. Woodson set back, Johnson to his left. Big couple of wide receivers, but the Eaves stacking the box. Woodson set back. Not a lot of pressure. Picked up by Armstrong. He stays on his feet. Keeps those legs moving, and it looks like he's got that first down.
What an effort by O.J. Armstrong. My goodness, he got absolutely popped there off catching the ball. Not sure how he stayed on his feet and picked up that first down.
And Williams just not getting low enough to wrap him up, but Woodson to Armstrong. We could look for that connection once again. Again, O.J. Armstrong in the slot over the middle of the field. Billy Dunn back out at receiver with Phil Lutz and Jackson Butler. Tyler Johnson in at running back for the Jumbos, and Trayvon Woodson set back at quarterback yet again. 1st and 10 on the 31. Woodson, he's back. Looking downfield, got a lot of time. Good blocks, finds his man Armstrong, but hit hard there by Josh Wax. That one blocked up. No good.
I think that both Woodson and Armstrong may like to have that one back. When there's defenders over the middle, generally a quarterback will try and throw that ball a little bit lower to take his receiver out of striking distance of the hit across the middle. O.J. Armstrong picked up a licking there, unable to hold on.
And a great hit, great clean hit there by Josh Wax, going shoulder to shoulder, breaking up that pass. Armstrong unable to hold on to it. It'll be Woodson back again. Jumbos in with the one tight end, Merriweather. Woodson fakes it. Looked like a designed run, but he is wrapped up there in the backfield by Colston Smith.
I think Woodson did a good job there to not lose more. There was pressure on him immediately. Able to scurry out and get 1 or 2 from where he was originally contacted.
Now 3rd and 11 for the Jumbos on the Eaves 32. Kind of a strange spot from your field. You know, your kicker's missed an extra point. He's missed a shorter field goal. Do you go for it? Because you're certainly not punting at this point. Woodson on 3rd down. Little bit of pressure over the middle of the field. A nice catch there from Phil Lutz. No need to punt. That'll be a first down at the Eaves 11.
Great play design there for the Jumbos. Phil Lutz able to run a little slant route towards the middle, pick up a nice first down, and again, just patient in the pocket so far from Trayvon Woodson today. He's looked great.
And a beautiful throw there, a dime right over the middle of the field to Phil Lutz. And another timeout from the Eaves. That'll be their 3rd with 8:17 left to go here in this first half.
What a drive we've seen so far from the Jumbos, and it looks very different than they did on that first drive, which looked so great, right? They're doing a little bit more in the air. Woodson's taking some time for himself and also has some design runs. Now you're on the 12-yard line. You have a mobile quarterback. I think that has to be part of the game plan.
Right, and the Jumbos have managed the game really well, 9:40 in total possession time, but you take a look at the stat sheet, you see Tyler Johnson with 8 attempts for 80 yards and Woodson with 10 for 6, so the design runs for Woodson not working as well. Tyler Johnson able to break one off earlier in the game for about 49 yards. So we'll see which direction the Jumbos decide to go in. They've got a short field in front of them, 1st down and 10 on the Eaves 12. So coming out for the Jumbos, it'll be Billy Dunn, Andre Smith in the backfield next to Woodson. Armstrong with Jackson Butler and Phil Lutz. No tight ends for the Jumbos. Woodson set back with Smith to his right.
Interesting. We've seen a lot of Andre Smith in the red zone.
Woodson set back, finds his man, O.J. Armstrong, who gets up over the middle, reels that ball in, and a great throw by Woodson to keep it away from that Williams Eaves safety. It looked like Chaz Cotton over the middle, but Armstrong able to haul it in.
What a drive there from O.J. Armstrong, topped with an incredible touchdown catch. That was acrobatic. For those at home, O.J. contorted his body, able to make the catch and absorb a hit and hold on, and not even go to the ground. Just an incredible series by O.J. Armstrong, as another extra point is blocked.
And Sal Lococo having a rough go at the kicker spot so far in this one. We saw Patrick Walsh with a short leash last week miss the first field goal and saw no more time on the field. But Lococo missing his first two and still headed out there for the third. Missed that as well. So the Jumbos, who could be leading 14-7 right now, even 17-7 if you hit that field goal, find themselves only up by 5. Still a touchdown score, but certainly could be more.
You know, that is the best drive I've seen from Trevon Woodson. That is in what I've seen of his time at Tufts. That was excellent poise. He looked great. He made great decisions, and he made good throws. Just excellent stuff. And O.J. Armstrong there, we mentioned him earlier. He's a great receiver. You need to get him involved in the game. The Jumbos were able to there, and he really had an excellent series.
Now it'll be Walsh set back to kick.
The Jumbos defense, again, tasked with holding on to the momentum, trying to keep this game right where it is.
Walsh puts it back out the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback for the Eaves. A little bit of extracurricular activity in the middle of the field between the Eaves and the Jumbos, but it'll be Bobby Mameron to bring the Williams College Eaves back onto the field, looking to drive. They've got the whole field in front of them.
Yeah, big drive here for both teams. Mameron has moved the ball less effectively than we anticipated he would, him and the Eaves together. And the Tufts Jumbos have looked great defensively. So a big drive here. We'll see if both sides can adapt to each other and how this goes.
Mameron now set back. Looks for his man, gives it to Nicholas, who's tripped up but brought down after a gain of about 5.
Yeah, nice run there by Nicholas, taking some contact and gaining some yards afterwards.
That's Gio Arquia, the middle linebacker, on the tackle for the Jumbos, the junior from Hinsdale, Illinois.
Arquia is going to have a good game, as we mentioned.
Mameron looks to accept the snap, adjusting his blockers. Hands it off to his man. Looks like Vaughn.
Once again, Vaughn swallowed up.
Mameron looking for the first down, and they'll move the chains. It will be a first down for the Eaves. Effective running here in the second quarter from Eaves.
You can't be too upset about that if you're the Jumbos defensive line. They got great penetration there, able to make a tackle, just a second and short.
Now Stola comes back in the game. It'll be DeGasperis, my apologies. Far side. Mameron hands it off to Vaughn, but he's wrapped up by Nenadovic.
Jovan Nenadovic, obviously a great player for this Jumbos team. Preseason All-American for D3 was Nenadovic. He's really important to what the Jumbos want to do on the defensive side of the ball.
And number 9, Jovan Nenadovic, a leader for this Jumbos offense, going to be key in stopping that run. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Williams with Mameron set back. To his right, that's Dan Vaughn. He's got a man in motion, adjusting the blocks. set back. The Jumbos got some pressure, but that one dropped by Williams.
That was a really nice play design there for the Eaves, getting that fullback out in the flank, trying to make a catch. Unable to do so. If he had, probably a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, and that's Bedard on the drop for the Eaves.
Bedard had that nice catch over the middle earlier in the game, so he's been involved in the offense.
Now Williams looking over to their sideline for the play call. Looks like the personnel will be Mameron with DeGasperis, Dan Vaughn.
Big 3rd and 8 here.
And Stola on the far side. 3rd and long here. Accepts the snap. That's Mameron. Looks deep for his man. And a flag. It looks like that'll be pass interference against the Jumbos. A lot of fighting there between DeGasperis and Jason Nadancy. But it looks like they'll get Nadancy for the PI.
That's an interesting call there. I think as O.J. Armstrong seemed to be saying on the Jumbo sideline, that ball did not look particularly catchable. It was a solid 15 yards in front of DeGasperis. The call will go against the Jumbos, though.
Defense, number 31.
Yeah, and they do get Jason Nadancy for the pass interference. A little bit too much fighting after 5 yards. So that'll move the chains for Williams. Certainly not a penalty that you want to be looking at after you worked so hard to get that 3rd and long.
Right, that's really a shot in the leg for the Jumbos after what they thought was a stop.
Now Mameron, looks like Nicholas to his left, or rather Fischetti. Taking some time off the clock. Mameron, the designed run, and he's brought out of bounds. Taken down by Cam O'Brien.
O'Brien made sure to hit him there before he could go out of bounds, but Mameron there, that's a little bit too easy. That's what the Jumbos want to avoid, right?
Exactly, and Cam O'Brien, the safety from New Orleans, Louisiana, getting over, trying to make that tackle. But now a 2nd and short for the Eaves. They continue to run the ball effectively here in the 2nd quarter. Now Mameron. Looks like Fischetti to his left. He's got it. Hands it off. Rather not Fischetti, that's Joel Nicholas. And brought back in the backfield by Jovan Nenadovic and Michael Butler.
They're going to give Nicholas some very kind forward progress there. I think that may be a little generous. This is still going to be a 3rd and 1. Nicholas was met, tried to squirm out of it, only able to go backwards.
And also in the backfield for the Jumbos was Gio Arquia.
Be really important here if Mameron drops back for the Jumbos to try and get some pressure on the passer.
Now Mameron hands it off to Nicholas, and some more pressure, but it looks like he may have enough for a 1st down.
Unclear here. Officials, as you mentioned, coming in at different lengths. Sorry to cut you off there, Sam.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the 2 officials coming in at different lengths, and they'll bring the chains out after Aparaji had the stop. Looks like they'll bring the chains out to measure the distance.
Now, this is obviously a 4th and go situation for the Eaves offensively, but I think the Jumbos want the chance to prove themselves and get a stop on 4th and what's probably about 4 inches.
Right, and they bring the chains out. It looks like he'll be just short. Rather, they do give him, it is short, just short, 4th and inches for the Eaves. We saw them go for it earlier in the game and get some good push with that offensive line. We'll see if they can do the same here, because it looks like they're going for it with the short field ahead of them, 39 yards till that end zone.
Yeah, loud here from the Jumbo crowd. They're getting into this one on a big 4th and 1.
Now Mameron fakes a snap to his left. That's Joel Nicholas.
They must feel the best out of this shotgun formation. Interesting to go to that here, not going right over the center.
Now Mameron looking to take that snap, keeping the defense on their toes. He's got it, looks to pass for Stola. Stola with the almost incredible catch, but a great pass deflection there by Brandon Jones. He's fired up. His whole team is fired up. And the Jumbos force a turnover on downs.
Really great coverage there from Brandon Jones. He stuck with that. It looked like Stola had it at first. Jones didn't quit, able to wrestle the ball free. Really interesting play call there from the Eaves after they've been pretty dominant on the front, right? They've been pretty dominant with their offensive line. You'd think that they would trust either their quarterback or their running back, Nicholas, to get the inch that they needed by himself. Instead, they go for the big play to Frank Stola. Brandon Jones up to the task, and now the Jumbos with an opportunity. 4:07 left in the clock, about 60 yards to go.
Absolutely, and Brandon Jones doing a great job there in that single coverage. Jumbos again stacking the box previously, but now Trayvon Woodson back on the field for Tufts. It looks like Andre Smith to his right. Fake, Woodson looks for his man deep, that's Butler. And Butler almost making an incredible catch, but that one blocked away by Josh Wax, the junior from Newton, Massachusetts.
This is a really interesting position the Jumbos are in now, right? 4 minutes to go. On one end, you want to go. You want to score. You want to deflate the tires of the Williams Eaves. On the other hand, you don't really want to give Bobby Mameron and this East offense the ball back with plenty of times to score and really kill all the momentum the Jumbos have. Interesting dichotomy. We'll see what the Jumbo coaching staff decides to do.
Well, again, the Eaves with no timeouts. It'll be important to take some time off the clock. Armstrong gets it, but runs out of bounds just before the sticks. You got to see Armstrong make a smart play, turn up field, try to stay in bounds there.
I think that probably would have been the right call in theory. Although the clock continues to run.
And Rocco Giandomen with the tackle, gain of 7 for Armstrong and Woodson.
A nice catch there by OJ for sure as well, which I don't want us to not mention. He leaped up for that one.
And OJ Armstrong, incredibly athletic, can't be understated here. Woodson hands it off to Smith, who gets through. A nice block by the Jumbos offensive front. And Smith moving the chains for Tufts. 3:22 left in the first half. Jumbos continue to move the chains, and they're moving with some urgency. John Andre checks in the game with Josh Merriweather and Paul Campo.
Feel like a broken record, but well-schemed blocking there from the Jumbos. That's the right play call, right? Now 3 minutes on the clock. You're across midfield. You're ready to go. You're ready to go. The Eaves have no timeouts. Can't make a mistake. You can't afford to turn the ball over. But other than that, the Jumbos full press on, now trying to just go towards the end zone, score a touchdown.
And Woodson trying to get that ball to his man, Jackson Butler, but just out of his reach, and the helmet comes off, so he'll have to sit a play. Coming in for the Jumbos, it'll be number 84, Jaden Richardson at wide receiver. Billy Dunn also in for Tufts, along with John Andre and Josh Merriweather at the tight end. Woodson set back with Tyler Johnson behind him.
It feels like the Jumbos have had more success in the passing game over the middle than out on the outside. We'll see if they go back to that.
And they'll run this one to Johnson, but he's wrapped up in the backfield. A loss of 5 for Tufts.
Nowhere to go for Tyler Johnson there. He was swallowed up pretty much immediately. I think that the Jumbo coaching staff thought they would get Williams off balance running in what was theoretically a passing situation. Instead, Williams knew the play was coming better than the Jumbos did even. And it's a 3rd and long.
And with 3rd and long, we're taking a look over at the game clock and the play clock. Looks like the game clock just ahead of the play clock, so the Jumbos could take this one down to the 2-minute warning. Woodson set back, but I'm not so sure he'll take a snap, and he does. Woodson now looking deep. Some pressure behind him. He'll tuck it and run upfield, but that one to no avail, taken down by Colston Smith, the linebacker.
Trevon Woodson is down.
And Woodson grabbing for his right knee. Definitely not what you want to see here for Tufts. That could be a really unfortunate break, and the athletic trainers immediately out. Woodson rolling over, extending that knee. And it's gone silent here at the Ellis Oval.
Not a good sign for the Jumbos, especially Woodson has played such a great game today, obviously put a lot of work into his game.
At number 15, Matt Crowley getting loose for the Jumbos. Came in last week against the second-team defense and was able to put up 3 touchdowns, but Woodson still down. Athletic trainers talking to him, but never a good sign. Certainly disappointing. Hoping Trayvon Woodson's going to be okay and he'll be able to get up and walk off under his own power, but certainly took a big hit there from Colston Smith. Not sure if he went down before Smith hit him, but Woodson able to get up. He's hobbled, but trying to walk off.
An interesting decision here for the Jumbos now. It's a 4th and 6. 4th and 6 on the Williams 45. Do you risk it with the chance of putting up points by yourself, especially now with a quarterback who's not your starter, or are you going to punt it away and let your defense try and run down the clock, not let up any explosive plays to the Eaves? We'll see what the Jumbos coaching staff decides to do here.
Yeah, and Woodson's still over there getting looked at by these athletic trainers. Again, almost halftime, but Woodson seems to be in a good deal of pain. He's still got that helmet on. Usually they'll take that helmet from you if they think it's a game-ending injury. So we'll see what the deal is with Woodson, but it looks like the Jumbo punting unit will head out as the time continues to run. For some reason, past the 2-minute warning, but the officials calling a timeout. Maybe no 2-minute warning here, college football, but 1:32 left in this first half. And
pretty important punt coverage here for the Jumbos to make sure that they don't let up any big returns.
Right, and Patrick Walsh, 4 punts last week, an average of 35. His longest was 46 and downed 1 inside the 20.
Interesting here. The Jumbos offense had all taken their helmets off. They're now putting them back on, although I think the punt team will still be coming out.
Yeah, that'll be Walsh set back to punt. Walsh now getting ready with Stola back for the Eaves.
Stola obviously has some burst. He's dangerous in the return game.
Walsh gets it up. Fair catch from Stola. He'll catch it at the 9.
Dangerous fair catch there from Frank Stola. Oh, leaping grab over his head, but he does bring it down.
And good hands there from the athletic Frank Stola, 6 feet tall, using all of that frame to get up and grab it, and a great punt from Patrick Walsh. It'll down them inside the 20. Flips the field a bit. 1:25 left. The Jumbos still have 2 timeouts. So we'll see if they try to get this ball back, but Woodson now helmet off, still talking to the athletic trainers. Looks like Crowley will enter the game in the event that the Jumbos have to go back out on the field. And now Bobby Mameron with Dan Vaughn to his right. Stola in with DeGasperis. Mameron fakes a snap, play clock running down.
90 yards to go for the Eaves with only 90 seconds to go.
And he'll hand it off to Vaughn. He'll gain about 4.
We had to wonder if the Eaves would go aggressive here and try and throw the ball. Instead, it looks like they're running it, but I think that the Jumbos would take a timeout here.
Looks like the Jumbos are going to try to get the ball back. Woodson now with some ice on that right knee.
So this is an interesting one for the Jumbos, right? You're almost daring Mameron and the Eaves to be aggressive and throw the football. They have 1 more timeout left, so they could stop it, theoretically getting the ball around 30 seconds to go in the half with no timeouts, if assuming that the Eaves decide to run it twice or complete passes. So we'll see. Interesting. I think that the idea behind this is that it's going to be a punt from deep in the Eaves territory. If a snap goes overhead, if there is a bobble, an issue with the exchange, the Eaves could be in trouble. The Jumbos trying to make sure that they put all the pressure they can on Williams.
Right, and Joel Nicholas set to the right of Bobby Mameron. They've run the ball incredibly effectively so far, as expected. In motion for the Eaves, that's Bedard. Mameron gets it off to Nicholas, and it looks like they'll bring him down in bounds for a gain of about 8. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Jumbos.
big play call here. So 1:09 on the clock now.
Looking to see if that'll be a first down, but the Jumbos do call a timeout. So 1:09 left to go here in the first half. Jumbos calling that timeout. It'll stop the clock, but looks like the Eaves may just take a knee and bring this one to the half. We'll see which direction they decide to go in.
Yeah, big play call here.
Javier Rios on the wrap-up.
So, yeah, I assume based on what they've done so far that Williams will just be running this football, but you don't quite know. Interesting that the Jumbos would take the timeout even after that Eaves first down. I wonder if they didn't know they got it when they took it.
Now Mammer on the design run, looking for the outside. He'll put a stiff arm on a man and run out of bounds.
Tough to see from our angle there, but it looked like the Jumbos let him go out of bounds. I don't know if that would have been what my strategy would have been, but the coaching staff has clearly coached the team to play this a certain way.
Now Mammeron back again for the Eaves. 2nd and 5 for them. 1:02 left. The Jumbos lead 12-7 after a couple of missed extra points and a missed field goal as well. So Jumbos certainly hanging tight with this 1-0 Williams College Eaves team. Mammeron now back. He takes the snap, passes to the outside. Complete to 31. That's Justin Burke.
So Mammeron and Williams have now woken up, and they've said, if you're going to give us this opportunity in this time, we may as well go for it. They are. And I think that puts the Jumbo defense in a high-pressure situation. If they let up points here, that's absolutely deflating.
And that's Burke's first catch of the day. Bobby Mammeron, not too many passing yards in this one before that play. Only 33. He's 2 of 7. So the Eaves primarily attacking on the ground. He's got 4 carries for 21 yards. Now Mammeron takes the snap. Set back to throw. No pressure from the Jumbos. Finally get through. And Mammeron on the run looking for Stola. Nothing doing there. And Brandon Jones, little celebration after the incompletion.
Jason Ndonzi thought that he had a chance of that ball. It was just short of him. Mammeron making a bit of a risky throw on the run there. He had plenty of time, rolled out of the pocket, looked downfield. May have been better checking it down.
Now Mammeron back yet again to his left. That's Joel Nicholas. DeGasperis as well with Stola on the far side. Nicholas switches sides. He's on Mammeron's right. And he'll hand it off. And brought down. It'll be 3rd and long for the Eaves. But with just about 40 seconds left to go here in this first half, they could just take this one to the locker room. Tyler Roach wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Right. 1 second separates the game and the play clock. So the East would have to take this snap, but they could just take a knee and end this first half, go into the locker room down 12-7.
Mammeron set back for the Eaves once again. Joel Nicholas to his left. Out on the top, that's DeGasperis. Stola as well. Switching sides is Nicholas. Mammeron. And it looks like a delay of game against the Eaves with 1 second left in this first half. The Jumbos looking to head to the locker room with this 5-point lead.
Yeah, I think that's the wise strategy for the Eaves. You really, at this point, there's far more risk than there is reward to going downfield and trying to make something happen, especially with the way that the Jumbo's defense has looked so far. And that's going to be the end of this half.
And at the end of the first half, the Jumbos lead 12-7 here at the Ellis Oval. Again, a couple of missed extra points and a missed field goal have the score the way it is, but the Jumbos have largely been able to contain Bobby Mammeron so far. And we'll see what the storyline is coming out of the locker room. Trayvon Woodson, 8 for 13 with 99 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, but doing it on the ground as well. He's got 13 rushing. Tyler Johnson, 77 rushing yards on 11 attempts. And the Jumbos will head to the locker room, up 5. The Eaves just behind them.
Yeah, great half there from the Jumbos. Did everything they wanted to, established the line of scrimmage, and really dominated along in the trenches.
We'll be back in about 20 minutes after this halftime, and we will see you then. And welcome back for the second half of this Tufts Jumbos versus Williams Eaves football game. Again, I'm Sam Brill, but joined now by Jared Cohen, a new member of JumboCast.
Happy to be here.
So we saw a little bit of the Jumbos playing excellent football in the first half. Trayvon Woodson, the junior quarterback, throwing for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns, but getting a little bit banged up at the end there. Still unclear whether he's good to go back in the game or not. I do not see him on the sidelines currently, but the Jumbos received the opening kick, so they'll kick off to start here. Give Woodson a little bit more time to recover potentially. It'll be Patrick Walsh to kick off. We saw him taking some field goal attempts during halftime after the rough start there from Sal Lococo, missing both extra point attempts and a field goal.
And Walsh was the full-time punter as a freshman, so it'll be interesting to see if he handles the kicking duties here in the second half.
Now Walsh set to kick off. Eaves set back to receive the kick. They took a touchback. They took a touchback both times previously, so Walsh now set to kick. And off his foot, looks like it'll go back into the end zone for yet another touchback. It'll bring the Eaves offense back onto the field. Jared, what do you see from Williams in the first half?
They tried to get their offense going mostly on the ground. You didn't see them try to air it out too often. The Tufts Jumbos did a good job keeping Mimeron in check, and they're going to try to continue to do that in the second half. He's a threat on the ground.
Absolutely. Bobby Mameron, only 3 of 9 for 43 yards in the air, and on the ground, adding 4 for 21. The Eaves running the ball effectively, 10 for 40 was Joel Nicholas, and Vaughn with 6 of 14, a little bit less so, but Bedard and DeGasperis with crucial catches to put the Eaves on the board. They trail the Jumbos 12-7 in the backfield for the Eaves. Alongside Mameron is Nicholas. He'll take it himself. That's Mameron on the outside, but wrapped up by the Jumbos. That's Brandon Jones coming off his man and making an impressive tackle, bringing down Mameron.
That's what the Jumbos want to do. They kept doing that in the first half. They can keep that going. They'll have a good chance of winning this game.
Now on the first play, starting this second half, just a 3-yard gain for the Eaves. Mameron sat back, Nicholas to his left, DeGasperis outside alongside Stola. And they hand it off to Nicholas, but he's brought down, and a great tackle there from the Jumbos. That's Shane Reiner, number 58.
Good pressure there from the Tufts defense. They've been doing that throughout the game, and they're going to try to continue to do that.
And the Jumbos defensive front there doing a great job stopping the Eaves, forcing them to bounce it to the outside, but Reiner right there to lock it up.
You think Mameron looks to pass here? They haven't had much success throughout the game, but this is a big stop right here if the Jumbos can get this.
Absolutely. 3rd and 8, looking to come out of the locker room and force a 3-and-out are the Jumbos. Mameron set back, fakes to his man. Now some pressure, looking to get through it, makes 2 men miss, but some more pressure. Mameron continuing to run, looking to buy some time, but it looks like that'll be a coverage sack for the Jumbos. A lot of pressure in the backfield. There was Dom Haley back there, Michael Butler as well. And also back there was Matty Drouillard, forcing Mameron to throw that ball away.
That's exactly how you want to start the second half if you're the Jumbos. Get them off the field quickly, and we'll see if Woodson can come back on the field.
Absolutely, and a crucial 3-and-out there for Tufts. Their offense seems to be gathering, talking about the game plan for this next drive. Can't see Woodson still, although his replacement would be sophomore quarterback Matt Crowley. This one off the foot of Schreibstein, a knuckleball. Gets a Williams bounce and continues to roll. And the Eaves will down the Jumbos at their own 25.
is downed at the Tufts 26-yard line. That's where the Jumbos will take over.
The Jumbos now
10.
will take over on offense. Woodson still hobbled without his helmet, so it will be Matt Crowley, the sophomore, coming in to the game from Topsfield, Massachusetts, and the St. John's Prep.
Yeah, he was a standout in high school. He threw 3 touchdowns last week, albeit in a loss. So playing with the lead here. I'd like to see what he can do.
Now Matt Crowley set back to his right. That's Tyler Johnson. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and airs out his first pass, but him and Jackson Butler not on the same page there. That one just out of his reach.
Looked like a miscommunication. Receiver wasn't looking for the ball. But good to see on his first play, and they're looking to throw.
Now Crowley getting some signs from his offensive coordinator and head coach, Jay Savetti. Savetti leading the Jumbos for quite some time now. Crowley behind center. Gets the snap from Horning. And the pass out wide to O.J. Armstrong, but again, not on the same page with his receivers. O.J. Armstrong trying to make a catch, but that one just behind him. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Jumbos, who clearly seem to be missing Trayvon Woodson.
After passing on 1st and 2nd down, it's 3rd down here, 3rd and long. Interested to see if they throw or go back to our first half strategy of pounding the ground.
Now Crowley in a 4 wide receiver set. Blair Horning talking about the stacked box. Crowley, as Williams brings pressure. Crowley sees it in front of him, but he's taken down. The Williams defensive front just too much. Again, they stacked the box and brought the pressure, and a sack for them there. Ian Devine with another sack for the Eaves. Ian Devine has 6 total tackles in this one, and that'll be his 4th tackle for a loss in this one, first of the second half. Walsh back to punt.
The Tufts offense has done their job. They've gone points on the board. They're leading, but they have not done a great job protecting the quarterback and absorbing a couple sacks today.
And Crowley unable to get the offense on the move after the defense goes 3 and out. Walsh off of his foot, a long punt taken by Stola. Little bit of a bobble. Jack Racine brings him down. Ran after him for a little bit.
Solid coverage on that return after a quick 3 and out from the Tufts offense. We'll see here if they can hold the Eaves to another quick possession.
And a great tackle there from Jack receiver. We haven't seen too much of Stola in this one. Again, last time the Jumbos faced off against the Eaves, he scored 4 touchdowns on them and received over 200 passing yards. So now Mameron set back.
Simply put, Mameron hasn't been able to get it going yet today. He's only 3 for 10. So if he's going to get his weapons involved, they got to get it going soon.
And a bit of a shorter field here for the Eaves at their own 45. Hands it off, but nope, takes it himself. Pulled that one out, and the Jumbos unable to make a tackle. Mameron runs a little bit extra, and it looks like a flag for a late hit against the Jumbos will be assessed there. Certainly not the kind of penalty that you want to be taking.
Yeah, that's sloppy, especially when you short field position. You need to get a stop. You don't want to give any free yards.
And it'll be a personal foul on the Jumbos. Out comes Brandon Jones, and in comes number 18. That'll be Jeremy Zuniga. And the 15-yard penalty assessed against the Jumbos. Looks like Brandon Jones has some sort of cramp. He's laying down as the head athletic trainer, Matt Whalen, is working him out on that knee. Bobby Mameron now back again for the Eaves. Set to his left, that looks like Dan Vaughn. Nope, that's Mario Fischetti. Hands it off, rather pulls it back and throws it to Stola. Stola has his first catch of the day, and that'll be good for 10 yards and a first down for the Eaves.
And that's what happens after a personal foul penalty. 3 yards opens up the play action, and that's a first down now in the red zone.
In the red zone now, the Eaves, Bobby Mameron back behind center with Frank Stola. Michael Bedard also out wide.
motion.
Looked like a little bit of a false start, but rather just some motion. Mameron fixing his blocks. Accepts the snap and hands it off to Fischetti.
Yeah, remember, Mameron scored the only Eaves touchdown of the game on a read option earlier in the red zone. So interesting to see if they look back to do that again or get it in through the air.
And a gain of 3 after Shane Reiner wrapped him up. Rather, a gain of 2, and the Jumbos looking to get a crucial stop here. Again, only leading by 5. Could have been more if not for the missed kicks by Sal Lococo.
Yeah, those are points, free points taken off the board right there. We'll see if the kicking game improves in the second half.
Now motion,
It's a pass.
fakes, Mameron, and a wide open Frank Stola, but a flag on the play. Looks like we could have a hold that brings this one back, but a beautiful play to Frank Stola on the outside. Bobby Mameron hitting him in stride.
And the Eaves ran a similar play on the opposite side of the field in the first half, and Mameron missed the wide open look. Right there was on the money, but the flag might be bringing it back.
And looks like the officials are talking to the Eaves head coach, so this one looks like it will stand. Could be a touchdown for the Eaves. Personal foul against the Jumbos. It's a face mask. They will decline the penalty, or rather assess it after the kickoff.
That is a 21-yard touchdown pass from Mameron to Dan Vaughn of Williams.
On their one attempt in the first half, the Eaves did hit their extra point. We'll see here. They're going for it, so
Mameron
going for 2.
Mameron going for 2. Got one man in motion. He'll run it in himself.
And
A helmet comes off, and it looks like Mameron is stopped. A great job by the Tufts defensive front. That's number 33 for the Jumbos, Matty Drouillard, on the stop.
with the special teams problems the Tufts have had today, that's a huge stop. Keep it a one-point game, 13-12. Get the ball back, see if they can get down the field.
Now the Eaves headed back out onto the field. They lead the Jumbos by 1 after marching down the field and scoring an easy touchdown.
After throwing the ball on 4 consecutive downs last possession, they could go back to the running game that worked for them in the first half. Tyler Johnson ran the ball strong. He had 10 carries, 68 yards, 6.8 yards per carry. It's a solid average. With Woodson out, they might look back to that and get the offense going again.
It looked like Stola on the catch, but I've been corrected. It was number 19, Dan Vaughn. And now set back to kick. It'll be Ivan Shurin with the Jumbos set to receive, trailing by 1 here in the beginning of this second half. Williams taking a good deal of time off the clock. Shurin kicks it just before the end zone, but wisely, John Andre will let it bounce in for the touchback. The Jumbos will come back out onto the field, but it looks like Trayvon Woodson's day may be done, and coming out for them will be Matt Crowley. Again, Crowley, the sophomore quarterback for the Jumbos from Topsfield, Massachusetts, and St. John's Prep, stands at a tall 6'2" and 210 pounds. A little less mobile than Trayvon Woodson, but certainly has a cannon, and the Jumbos looked for that shot on first down the last time they went out. Jackson Butler looking like he's got one man on him. So we'll see where the Jumbos go here. They run. That's Tyler Johnson, but he gets stood up and brought down. Officials letting them run, trying to get some ugly yards with Johnson, but unable to do so.
Johnson's fought for yards today, though. That's kept the Tufts running game in the positive, and he's coming off the field now, so we'll see what they do in a second and long.
And Andre comes in, Andre Smith, that is, for the Jumbos, set next to Matt Crowley. Jumbos have a bunch of receivers in. Crowley takes the snap, looking to pass, but that one knocked away by the Williams defender I missed who that was.
Number 37.
Looked like Edward Manzella.
Yeah, he got a good jump on that ball. Knew exactly where the ball was going, broke it up. That's a good defensive play.
And he jumped the pass to Jackson Butler. Crowley unable to complete it. 3rd and 7 now for the Jumbos. Another 3rd down. O.J. Armstrong and Jackson Butler out wide for Tufts.
Might look to find Armstrong here. He's been their most consistent receiver today.
Crowley looking for Butler. He airs it out, but they're definitely not on the same page. That one well long.
We've seen a couple times now since Crowley's come in the game. Some miscommunication between the receivers and the quarterback. They're going to need to patch that up. That's 2 consecutive drives where that's stalled them out.
And coming out again will be Patrick Walsh as the offense goes 3 and out once again. Crowley having a word with Coach Savetti. But it certainly looks like Trayvon Woodson's day is done here at the Ellis Oval. He's walking around a little bit, which is great to see, but that knee is likely too swollen for him to be able to get back in there. Walsh off his foot, the long punt. Stola, he's got it. Wrapped up, but he gets away, and a block in the back. That'll send it back another 15 yards.
2 flags come flying in.
2 flags saw the same exact thing, so at about the 34-yard line is where that additional penalty will be assessed, but Arkia on the stop for the Jumbos. Stola not able to do anything more.
He came in low, and he came in the back with him facing the other end zone. You can't do that. That's going to be 15 yards.
And a fortunate break for the Jumbos.
Number 37. 10-yard penalty.
That's Manzella on the penalty.
The guy who he just broke up the pass comes down on special teams and gets an unwise penalty.
Jumbos get a fortunate break there. The Eaves will be set back now at their own 21.
You see one-on-one coverage on the outside.
Brandon Jones back in the game for Tufts. Jason Nadancy as well. It's Mameron. Behind center. One man to his right. Hands it off. And gets a couple of yards. Looks like about 5.
Joel Nicholas on the carry for Williams.
It's been everybody but Mameron hurting them on the ground today, except for his lone touchdown. Complete opposite of last week when Mameron ran for over 170 yards. So that's a positive for the Tufts defense.
And Williams heading into the hurry-up offense. Mameron behind center. Joe Nicholas to his left. Full receiver set for Williams. Mameron now taking some time off that play clock. Got set quickly. Takes the snap. Looks to his man on the outside. That's to Gasparis. And a big hit by the Jumbos. A tackle there.
And that was the senior, number 31, Jason Sandy, in coverage on DeGasparis. Little slant route. Stayed up on it and got the tackle. Big hit coming in there.
Mameron back behind center again, looking to manage the game after that first down. 8:22 left on the clock here in the third quarter. To his left, that's Nicholas. Mameron letting that play clock run down, taking the snap, takes it himself, runs to the outside, picks up about 9, and runs out of bounds. The Jumbos have to do a better job containing that edge.
They really do. We came into this game knowing Williams runs a read option offense, and they've continued to do that. They haven't taken shots downfield, so that's going to be the thing you need to focus on if you're going to keep them from getting down the field.
And the defense at this point has been on the field for quite some time here. Time of possession beginning to even out between the Jumbos and the Eaves. The Jumbos with 18:53 and the Eaves with 16:33, but the Eaves leading 13-12. Set back is Bobby Mameron. Ran it on the last play, fakes the pitch, and that's Nenadovic getting through. Mameron throws it down. That's Dan Vaughn, and the check down is good for the first down. Bobby Mameron making something out of nothing after Jovan Nenadovic got through that line.
Looked like that play might have been blown up off the bat, but he gets out, rolls to his right, and makes a tough pass, and that's a good catch, turning his head back to the quarterback on the ground to make that catch for what looks like a first down.
It'll be good for the first down, just over midfield at the Tufts 47. Bobby Mameron sat back with DeGasperis on the left side. 2 running backs with him in the backfield. Hands it off to Nicholas, who gets to the outside, and a flag after the tackle there from number 41. That's Spencer Olligood for Tufts. But a flag on the play. It looks like it'll be a hold against Williams, and it is just that, so it'll send it back 10 yards.
There was good blocking downfield on that play. Looked like they could have gotten more out of it, but the flag brings it back anyways. That's good for the Jumbo's defense right there.
And the hold on Williams will be a 10-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 20.
Now it'll be very interesting to see if the Williams offense opens it up through the pass more and take a shot downfield.
Right, and at 1st and 20 here, the Jumbos have to continue to stay disciplined in the middle on defense. Woodson still hobbled, walking around on that sideline. Looks like he's got a knee brace on. But Bobby Mameron set back for Williams. Some motion, adjusting his blockers. That's Bedard in motion. Williams set back. Mameron has some time, finds his man. That's number 5, Ethan McCulloch. And he picks up about 18.
That was great pass protection right there from Williams. He gave him a clean pocket, time to throw. He stepped back, and he delivered it. Be interesting to see if they give him forward progress for a first down. He looked like he was pretty close, got knocked backwards a little bit.
And it'll be 2nd and 2 for the Eaves after being 1st and long.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. 1st and 20, play action, defense bid it, and as long as you got a clean pocket in this game, give him time to make a throw, he can make that throw.
Set back is Mameron once again. He's got McCulloch on the outside. Stola as well, set to pass. Looks deep for Stola, and Stola grabs it.
That was a fantastic throw outside the numbers. Gets him right in stride on the sideline. That's the Mameron we saw last week. Didn't see him that much in the first half. He can keep doing that. It'll give Williams a good chance.
And Mameron finally getting some time to get the ball out. Does just that, and Frank Stola making an athletic catch on the near sideline. Frank Stola, one of the better receivers in the NESCAC, certainly making a case on this drive. Difficult to guard. Brandon Jones in one-on-one coverage with him now. Mameron with a running back to his left. That's Nicholas. Mameron now fakes the handoff. He'll take it himself. And defense. Wrapped up in the backfield by the Jumbos. That's Michael Butler penetrating that offensive line and getting through to Mameron. It'll be 2nd and long for the Eaves.
That's exactly like what you like to see from a defensive line, keeping the mobile quarterback in check on the read option. They've done that today. Every time they've done that, it's been a positive. It's moved them backwards, and that's helped them get a couple good stops against the Williams offense today. They got to keep that up.
And that's an incredibly important stop there. 25 yards left till the end zone, 11 till the first down. Bobby Mameron set back with Dan Vaughn to his right. Dan Vaughn done a lot of damage for the Eaves so far in this one. And in motion, that's DeGasperis. Mameron, he's got it back, looking to run himself. Nenadovic tried to get through, unable to do so, but finally wrapped up there in the middle.
Williams has been running a lot of play action, trying to get good blocking in the backfield for Mameron to throw. That time, not so much. Had to get out of there. Small gain around, barely got back to the line of scrimmage. So that's a positive for the Jumbo's defense right there.
Nenadovic hustling off, standing right next to the athletic trainer, hoping that's not a big injury. The Jumbos are going to need Nenadovic on that line.
3rd and 6 in the red zone here. Jumbo Nation's getting loud.
Now Bobby Mameron set back. Dan Vaughn to his right. Some motion. Dan Vaughn now to the left with Burke. Fake.
Another play action. And the play's whistled dead.
Play is whistled dead. Looks like it'll be a false start, but Bobby Mameron
not
real
happy.
Disappointed.
Not happy.
Seems to be giving out some colorful language with that official.
And maybe the Tufts fans here, they made some noise that messed up the snap count.
It'll be third and long now for the Eaves. And Bobby Mameron looking to do what he does best and make something out of a rough situation.
Yep.
He's been incredible on these long third downs.
That was a big penalty. It makes it a lot easier for Tufts right here. They need to get a stop to keep this before the fourth quarter. They want to keep this a one-score game.
And especially if you don't gain here, that's a 44-yard field goal. So Mameron certainly looking to make something here.
Let's see what he
takes
can do.
the snap. Looking to pass. Looks for McCulloch. Nadanti trying to make a play on it, but to no avail. That was DeGasperis. And simply out of his reach, and Mameron off. That'll bring on Ivan Shurin.
That was fantastic pressure off the right side there. Came right past the right tackle, right at Mameron. He had no choice but to get rid of that ball. And you say it didn't come out accurate. That's a great stop from the Tufts defense.
And Ivan Shurin, the freshman place kicker for the Williams Eaves. This is going to be about a 44-yarder for him. We've seen quite a few misses so far in this one, and the Jumbo crowd getting loud. Could shake off Shurin. Two officials set back. That one's up. Looks like it'll be off the crossbar and through. A great kick there from Ivan Shurin. Needed all 44 yards of that leg off the crossbar. Luckily, gets through. Now Ivan Shurin will be set to kick this next one out to John Andre and the Tufts Jumbos. As the Eaves lead 16-12, Jumbos are going to need a touchdown here
and if you're
take the lead.
If you're the Jumbo defense right there, that's a win. It looked like they were threatening. They got in the red zone. A couple penalties brought them back, and they stood when they needed to, kept it a one-score game. That gives them a shot to take the lead before the end of the quarter.
Now the Jumbo return team getting set. It'll be John Andre back.
Haven't seen many chances for a return today. A bunch of touchbacks on both sides. Andre let the ball bounce last time wisely to get it through. We'll see what happens right here.
Ivan Shurin with that incredible kick just off the crossbar and through. Ivan Shurin now with that Williams special teams. This one's off and pretty deep. John Andre gonna let it bounce.
Oh.
Picks it up though. Starts to run it out. Letting it bounce. He'll start this one at about the 10.
That was a good decision on the last kick. This kick not so much. Bounced back towards the Williams end zone. And it's gonna pin the Jumbos deep. Not what you want to see there. We'll see if they can manage to get out of it. Last time they were in a situation, ran up the passes, and it didn't work. So we'll see if they have a new game plan right here. Maybe get back on track with their communication with the receivers, which has been lacking in the last couple series.
The Jumbos have lost a lot of their offensive momentum and their starting quarterback, Trayvon Woodson. But Matt Crowley looking to get them going. It's been 2 3-and-outs for him so far.
We know he can air it out. Let's see if he can do it right here.
And in motion, Crowley hands it off to Johnson. Johnson not getting much, just about 4 yards for the Jumbos. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Tufts.
I really want to see him stringing together some plays right here. No backwards momentum. That's been the issue on some of these drives that have come up short.
It's a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Jumbos.
2nd and 5 now for Tufts. Matt Crowley set back for them once again. In motion, that's O.J. Armstrong in the slot. They give it to Johnson again, but Johnson wrapped up just beyond the line. And the Williams defense getting fired up.
For the Jumbos. C.J. Vilford and T.J. Rothman on the stop for Williams.
Now Matt Crowley set back once again.
No gain on the play.
No gain on the play for Tyler Johnson.
Another third down right here, 3rd and 5. They could go pass, they could go run, they could go play action. There's a lot of things they could do right here, but they got to call up one of their winner plays right here to get the offense down the field.
Now Williams not stacking the box, dropping a lot of guys into coverage.
That's
nice
a great
throw over the field.
Great throw.
and that's a catch and run for number 6. That's Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn with 2 touchdowns in last week's game, moving the chains for the Jumbos, and a great throw into a tight window there from Matt Crowley.
Yep, great pickup by the offensive line there. They gave him a clean pocket to throw it, and he surveyed the field. He got his reads, and over the middle. We saw last week Billy Dunn had huge numbers, 38 yards per catch. That was his first catch today. They get that connection going again. Get down the field. We know he's a big play threat.
And Billy Dunn, the 6'4", 200-pound receiver from Shaker Heights, Ohio, showing his offensive prowess as that one's handed off to Johnson. He'll bounce it to the outside, has a block, gets about 7 yards on that play, just about at midfield for the Jumbos, and it looks like they've got their offense on the move. Matt Crowley finally figured it out, and the chemistry is there.
Yep, that's that positive momentum we talked about. In the first half, they were doing that. Johnson was getting downfield, getting chunk plays on the ground. You get that second, third, and short, and it makes it a lot easier.
Now Matt Crowley behind center. He's got it. Gets it to Johnson, who runs.
Close to a first.
Tripped up there, but it looks like it'll be
and a flag
just before a first down. And after Nick Swift is pushed over by the Eaves, looks like that could move the chains as we see a flag fly.
There is a flag on the play.
Now, as we've got that flag, let's take a trip around the NESCAC, give you a little bit of a scoreboard update. The Amherst Mamos took a loss against the Colby College Mules. Final score 10-7. The Trinity Bantams defeated the Bowdoin Polar Bears 38-14. And the Middlebury Panthers defeated the Bates Bobcats 24-0. After the play, an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Jumbos. Looks like that's against Nick Swift, and the 15-yard penalty certainly hurts that offensive momentum.
Yep. That's the third or fourth personal foul we've seen against the Jumbos today. Who knows where they'd be without those? There's negative yards, minus 15. That takes away a lot of momentum on this drive. We'll see if they can keep it up anyways.
That'll be 3rd and 14, and Matt Crowley's got a tall task ahead of him. 27 seconds left in this third quarter. Coming out is Josh Merriweather, and coming in for Tufts is number 13, Phil Lutz, the 6', 180-pound receiver, the junior from North Caldwell, New Jersey. Matt Crowley looking to speed things up. Only a couple seconds left on that play clock. He's got it. Set back. They bring some pressure, but a nice block from Johnson. Crowley on the move. Lets it go. Looks like that should be
a flag. Looking for a flag, and they got it.
And he gets one, and that's a great job by Matt Crowley, getting that ball out, making your receiver make a play, and a crucial mistake there from the Williams College Eaves. Certainly could be a pass interference.
Yeah, that was all Crowley right there. He extended that play. His offensive line got blown up, no protection in the backfield, but he got out of the pocket, he made that throw, and he drew a flag on the throw.
And it looks like that will be the call, rather a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for the Jumbos. They still trail the Williams College Eaves 12-16 here as we're headed to the fourth quarter of the NESCAC football game, the final one remaining here today. The Jumbos will flip the field, and Matt Crowley looks to put the Jumbos back ahead after this short break. And I'm joined now back by Noah Goldstein on the color commentary as Matt Crowley set back. Lets off a bomb, but that one no good. Good coverage there from Josh Wax, the junior.
It's interesting, this new style of offense we're seeing the Jumbos run under Crowley. A lot of shots down the field. Crowley clearly has the arm strength. We'll see if this Williams defensive backfield that's looked very solid can keep it up.
Rather now, we've got the end of the third quarter, so a bit of a break. Headed to the fourth, 15 minutes left in this game. Jumbo's looking a little bit banged up. We saw Brandon Jones on the table earlier. Jovan Nenadovic came out for a play to talk to the athletic trainer. And, of course, the unfortunate headline of the game, Trayvon Woodson has been knocked out with a right knee injury. So Matt Crowley leading this Jumbo's offense, but Woodson still in there trying to give advice to his teammates and really lead by example, or rather lead with words of encouragement rather than by example.
Yeah, it's been a close game so far. Big fourth quarter coming up. Not much more we can ask for today between these two teams. They've played competitive football, both run the ball well, imposed an interesting style of play, especially now with the Jumbos coming out with a completely different look in the second half offensively.
And again, the Jumbos looking to add a lot in the air so far in this second half. Matt Crowley, so far just 1 of 6 for 28 yards. Crowley now under pressure, rolls out, but finds his man, and it looks like that'll be a touchdown. A beautiful throw and a better run from Phil Lutz, the junior for the Jumbos, and they find themselves back ahead. Coming on for the extra point will be Patrick Walsh rather than Sal Lococo. But a great play by the Jumbos. Crowley rolling out beautifully to his weak side and connecting with Lutz for the touchdown.
Yeah, really nice play there by the quarterback Crowley. Checking into this game, he did a nice job there, not getting flustered. He was pulled out of the pocket, made the nice throw on the run, and Lutz did the rest. Just what the Jumbos are going to have to do with Crowley the rest of the game. Not really about these deep throws, but about the mid throws in the mid-level. Lutz able to do the rest of the work there. He had a lot of turf in front of him when he caught that ball and made the most of it.
And a pleasant sight to see is Patrick Walsh nailing that field goal as the Jumbos now lead by 3, 16-19 with 14:51 here left to go in the fourth quarter. Again, beautiful throw on a nice play from Matt Crowley. Felt a little bit of pressure, but rolled out to his weak side and found Phil Lutz. Hit him in stride, and Lutz did the rest.
Yeah, it was a great play there by two good players. Crowley seeming to be getting a little bit more comfortable in this offense now as it goes along. It's going to be his team for the rest of the day at the least. So it's really important for this Jumbo side to have Crowley comfortable and have the offense cater to his strengths. It seems like those paths, those 10 to 15-yard passes are where he feels best right now. The Jumbo offensive staff is going to have to work hard to scheme up open receivers for him. He's got some great options. Obviously, Phil Lutz there with the catch, O.J. Armstrong, among others.
And Walsh with the nice kick. Fair caught at the 5. Interesting fair catch there for the Eaves, but inside, that looks like it'll be a touchback.
Yeah, I think it's that new rule in the NCAA where it can be fair caught brought out to a touchback, trying to limit those returns. It does beg the question why a couple of those kicks were returned by the Jumbos earlier, but tough to see for sure.
Looks like a penalty assessed after the play, but the Eaves starting at the 30 after the 5-yard penalty by the Jumbos.
Yep, again, another big drive for both of these sides. The Eaves have been rolling so far this half offensively. The Jumbos here need to get a stop to maintain this momentum that they've been able to pick up on that last drive.
Now Bobby Mamarin set back for the Eaves, looking to get something going here. And the crowd is significantly louder than it was on the previous drive, as it looks like Joel Nicholas is stood up by that tough defensive front once again. Inside there, that's Michael Butler and Uzochi Aparaji.
It's been tough sledding today for those Williams running backs. Nicholas now with 50 yards on 40 carries. Dan Vaughn has had an even tougher time, 6 carries for just 14 yards. So the defensive front for the Jumbos is working hard and doing a good job.
Now Mamarin with Nicholas to his left. In a 3-receiver set. Fake, looks for his man Stola, but that's off his hands. That's Brendan Jones on the coverage. We saw Frank Stola making a crucial play on 3rd down earlier in the game, but that one just off his hands, out of his reach, and Brandon Jones giving a little bit of motion to his sideline, letting him know that was his play. And now 3rd and long for the Eaves.
Yeah, another big play here for the Jumbos. You have to look again at that Brandon Jones-Frank Stola matchup. You know that's where Mamarin feels most comfortable going.
Now Mamarin rolling out to his right, looking for a receiver on the stop and go, looks for his man underneath, and a great catch there by the Eaves. That's number 84, Paul Harshbarger, the junior.
Nice roll out there by Bobby Mamarin to make that toss. And again, a big 3rd down conversion for the Eaves. Keeps the drive going when they really needed it.
Now set back once again is Mamarin to his left. It looks like Nicholas. Jumbos in a 4-3. One man in motion, that's Burke. Burke gets set. Mamarin takes the snap. Looks for his man Stola, but that one blocked up by Brandon Jones.
Yeah, Stola looked like he had that one, just couldn't bring it down. Excellent defense so far today, and again on that play by Brandon Jones. He's stuck with Frank Stola. Again, Frank Stola gave this Tufts defense nightmares. I bet that Brandon Jones has been thinking about their Week 2 matchup in 2019 for the past 2 years, where Stola went off for 233 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns.
Certainly a revenge matchup here between Jones and Stola. But back once again is Mamarin. He takes the snap, the fake. Looking deep downfield, he's got 2. Rolls out to his right, but Nenadovic threatening. Finally on the broken play, just throws it out of bounds. That'll be 3rd and long for Mamarin and the Eaves once again. But they still have plenty of offensive momentum and are threatening here. Mamarin, the athletic quarterback.
Yeah, smart play there by Mamarin just to dump the ball. Was not really much there offensively. Looking downfield, he probably would have thrown a ball into a position it shouldn't have been thrown. Big 3rd down here again. This one near midfield.
Now Bobby Mamarin behind center with the Jumbo crowd making some noise. Play clock runs down. Mamarin takes the snap. Some edge pressure. Number 1, Brandon Jones looking to knock him up. Mamarin reaches for that 1st down, and it looks like he will have it. Brandon Jones looks a little shaken up on the play.
Yeah, really good pocket awareness there by Mamarin. He saw an opening, and he took it. Really, really infuriating for that Jumbo defensive line, which thought that they had a chance to get to Mamarin, just couldn't bring him down, and he's able to scamper for that 1st down. That's the benefit of having such an athletic quarterback. There's never a dead play. Right there, no separation for the Williams receivers. Doesn't matter. Although it looks like it's going to be a 4th and inches here.
Looks like the chains will come out. We'll see whether this one is going to be a 4th and short or a 1st down. Looks like it'll be inches. And Spencer Allagood with a clutch tackle, leading this one to 4th down. We'll see what the Eaves go to on 4th down. We've seen them pass once. We've seen them throw once. Looks like this is just going to be a quick QB sneak.
I can't imagine they go to the air here after what happened last time. This is an offensive line that has created running lanes for their backs to at least pick up a couple yards pretty much all day, especially with a quarterback like Mamarin. I got to think they're just going right back up the middle.
Right, and Mamarin with Nicholas. Looks like Nicholas set to his left. Getting ready to take the snap. Stola one-on-one with Brandon Jones. Not a lot of safety help.
Looks like the Jumbos know a run is coming.
And Mamarin lets it go inside to Nicholas, who easily gets that first down and then some. Looks like about a 7-yard gain for Joel Nicholas.
I think we knew it was coming. The Jumbos knew it was coming. Williams knew that the Jumbos knew it was coming. And it just didn't matter because they played it perfectly. The blocking was perfect, and there's really nothing you can do to stop that play.
And the first down for Williams lets them march into Tufts territory on the Jumbo 38. 1st and 10 for Mamarin. One guy in motion. Mamarin sat back now. Looks like Nicholas to his left. Crowd still with some energy. Mamarin back to throw. No pressure. The long ball to Stola. He reels it in, but it looks like there's going to be a flag on the play. Not quite sure where it's coming from, but a great play from Frank Stola. Incredible catch down there, and Mamarin putting it on the money.
Yeah, great throw there by Mamarin and a heck of a catch by Frank Stola. I'm assuming that penalty is going to go against the Jumbo secondary for either a hold or a pass interference. Didn't matter in the case of Frank Stola there. He used his big size and was able to just snatch that ball out of the air and bring it down for a huge completion.
And the penalty on the safety, Jonathan O'Neal, is declined. So 12 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. The Jumbos lead by 3, but Mamarin threatening 1st and goal with 5 yards to go. Mamarin with Nicholas to his left. Stola one-on-one. He takes the snap, and it's given to Nicholas, but he stood up. Gain of about 3. Looks like it'll be 2nd and 2 in Jumbo territory.
Yeah, the Jumbos know that this is a chance to, in essence, take points off the board for Williams, right? If they can hold them to 3 here, that's huge. They would go get the ball back with about 10 minutes to go in a tie game. 2 really important plays coming up right here for both these teams.
Now O'Neal looks like he's not guarding anyone, but it seems like his responsibility will be that running back. Mamarin gives it to Nicholas, who gets in for the touchdown. Williams jumping back out in front. Rushing touchdown for Joel Nicholas.
No answer for Nicholas there on that drive. 2 short yardage opportunities, and he converts both times. That time to get into the end zone. And just a great offensive drive from Williams, asserting their dominance along the offensive line and creating running room. And now the Jumbos will be back down and needing some points.
Ivan Shurin back, the lefty. It's up, and it's good.
That's a big extra point, makes it a 4-point game. So the Jumbos need a touchdown to go ahead. We'll see what they draw up here. The Jumbos, again, as we mentioned, had snatched back that momentum with that last touchdown drive led by Matt Crowley. Now they're back on their heels, needing a score. 11 minutes to go in this one, so there's plenty of time left. But they're going to need to continue to move forward offensively. And I think that what's going to be the key to that for them is to reestablish the run. They had some great running plays on their first drive or two. Ever since, the running game has been very quiet. If they're going to move down the field here, I think they're going to need the running game to be effective. And look, an interesting situation here as O.J. Armstrong's back deep to return the kick.
Now, Armstrong hasn't received a kick or a punt yet this season, but we've seen Armstrong. He's incredibly quick, incredibly shifty, made a couple of incredible catches so far today. So we'll see what O.J. Armstrong can do for Tufts as this one's about to come off the foot of the lefty, Ivan Shurin.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of 2 sports seasons at Tufts for O.J. Armstrong, also a sprinter on the track team. So let's see this speed here.
And Armstrong, he'll take it. And this one's going to come out, but he's wrapped up at about the 20. Continues to keep those legs moving, but to no avail. And the Jumbos will start on the 20. The sophomore, Matt Crowley, coming out for Tufts once again.
Yeah, Matt Crowley here in another big spot. I think that the Jumbo coaching staff, it's really important for them to help Crowley get into a rhythm here. That means short completions. That means scheming up some rub routes, some things like that to get some of his receivers out in space. Let Crowley put the ball where it needs to be and not do too much, and that could be an effective strategy for the Jumbos.
Crowley giving it to Johnson. Johnson keeps those legs moving, but unable to escape the tackles. Brought down after a game of 2. And the tackle from TJ Rothman. From Norwell, Massachusetts, the senior. He's been all over the field so far in this one. That's his 8th tackle.
Big opportunity here for Crowley. Look for them to go in the air, but they'll run it.
He runs it to Johnson, who gets upended on a big hit. Looks like a gain of 6 for Tyler Johnson.
Good looking play right there, that little draw to the running back. And I think if Johnson got through that man, he may have had a lot of space in front of him. Big tackle, though, to bring him down. It'll be a 3rd and 3.
And some new wide receiver personnel in for Tufts. O.J. Armstrong, Michael Butler, and Billy Dunn. Matt Crowley set back. Tyler Johnson in the backfield. Adjusts the block. Looks like box is being stacked. They don't send pressure. That one to Johnson. Oh, and a beautiful spin move from Johnson. Makes a man miss, and he's still going. Gets the Jumbos just about to midfield. And a beautiful move from Tyler Johnson, making something out of nothing. Gets the Jumbos back within striking distance here.
Tyler Johnson somehow knew the defender was on his back. I don't know how he had that type of awareness, able to spin out of a tackle. You know, frequently we say that a receiver has to catch the ball before they make a move. It seemed like Tyler Johnson caught the ball and made the move at the same time. Brilliant play right there from the running back.
And Crowley gets this one out. That one caught by the Jumbos, and a flag on the play on the catch. That's Phil Lutz. Great throw by Crowley, but this one may be coming back. But still, a beautiful move from Tyler Johnson on the previous play. They call that one against the Jumbos. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. So 1st and 15, they'll replay 1st down. But Tyler Johnson in the backfield, he's been a big part of the Jumbos' success so far in this one. He's got 92 yards rushing and 59 yards receiving.
I've loved what the Jumbos have done on these past 2 plays, which is just letting Crowley get the ball out of his hands quickly and let his skill players run, as he's now back in the shotgun for this snap.
Crowley back now. Finds his man wide open. That's Lutz. Lutz, couple of men to beat. Gets upended down at the 17-yard line. A beautiful play from Matt Crowley, and we saw that once before on our side of the field. Jumbo seem to be recycling those quick plays, and they're hurrying up, getting right back at the line. In at running back, though, it's Andre Smith, not Tyler Johnson. Crowley getting his guys set. Play clock down to 20. Crowley takes the snap. Looks to the outside, that's Armstrong. Armstrong running, gets a couple of yards, but it looks like a Williams defender is down in the backfield. That's Ian Devine, and he's had an incredible game for the Eaves so far in this one. That's got to be a crushing blow, and you never like to see an injury. Really rough here. Ian Devine, a junior leader from Pelham, New York, 6'2", 250 pounds, and he's really been great so far. He's got about 7 total tackles for the Eaves and a couple of ones in big spots too.
Right. You know, so far these past couple of plays, truly great design from the Tufts coaching staff. The key so far for Crowley's success has been getting the ball out of his hands quickly and making accurate tosses. He's done a great job of putting his receivers in positions to make something happen, just like Phil Lutz there. Good play on the O.J. Armstrong one, along with the Tyler Johnson catch and run as well. If the Jumbos can keep giving Crowley opportunities to make those short tosses and let a receiver run, I think good things are going to happen for this offense today and moving forward if Trevon Woodson's not able to come back.
And at 2nd and 4 now on the Eaves 13. The Jumbos are threatening, and without Ian Devine, who's had 4 tackles for loss so far in this one, and we see Tyler Johnson split out wide, you'd think that they'd go to more of a running-focused offense, but Crowley with 2nd and 4 on the Eaves 13. Set back. Williams brings pressure. That one sidearmed out. Looked like a hit after the play, but that one knocked out of the arms of the tight end Josh Merriweather, who made a beautiful play on a touchdown catch earlier in the game.
Yeah, that was a dangerous bobble for a second. It looked like it hung up in the air for a Williams defender for half a second. Innocently dropped to the turf, and now it'll be a 3rd and 4. The Jumbos may have gotten a little lucky there. Let's see if they can punish the Eaves on this play.
And with 8 minutes left here in the game and this 4th quarter, Matt Crowley set back, 3rd and 4 on the 13, and a designed run for Crowley. He'll take it himself, and it's a little unclear whether he got that first down.
It looks like he got it.
Looks like he got it.
Nice play design there from Matt Crowley. We've seen, that is the first design run I think we've seen for Crowley so far, so clearly that's something that he can do. And now 6-7 yards to go for the Jumbos to go on top in this one.
1st and 8 for Crowley with Johnson set back. Johnson takes the run, takes it up the gut. He's running, keeps those legs moving, but it looks like he'll be just short. He'll be down to the Eaves 2. And a great run from Tyler Johnson. Once again, Johnson has about 96 rushing yards in the game on 17 attempts. Crowley takes the snap back to Johnson. Hit in the backfield, but keeps his feet moving. Looks like he'll be short once again, and on 3rd down, the Jumbos could look to go to Johnson once again. A couple of personnel substitutions in. Comes number 66, Gus Bickert. Crowley running over to the sideline to get the play. Billy Dunn also checking out for the Jumbos.
Crowley, what a big play here.
Crowley bringing it back into the huddle. We're under 7 minutes here in the game. About 15 seconds left on the play clock. Crowley set back. Johnson also back. The Jumbos in a goal line formation. Crowley gives it to Johnson, who makes a man miss and gets in for the touchdown. Beautiful block there on the right side. Little bit of extracurricular activity. And a great run by Tyler Johnson. Puts the Jumbos back ahead.
Johnson bursted out of that. Didn't even have to make a cut, just a dive straight across the goal line. And the Jumbos get on top. An important extra point here to try and make it a 3-point game.
And a beautiful play from Tyler Johnson puts the Jumbos up by 2. Patrick Walsh on for the extra point. That one's up and good for Tufts. So the Jumbos take a 3-point lead here, 26-23 with 6:30 left to go in the 4th quarter. Tyler Johnson again running straight through the blocks on the right side. That's going to be Dylan Daisy and Kieran Horahan. Great blocks from Tufts, allowing Johnson to burst right through.
What a game we've seen here at Ellis Oval. Back and forth nature. The Jumbos dealing with the injury to their starting quarterback and able to bounce back on these past 2 drives and put points on the board. Really impressive showing so far. Now the defense comes on the field with 6.5 minutes to go, trying to force Williams to off the field and to punt the ball away. We'll see what they can do. So far, very entertaining game and an especially entertaining second half.
Absolutely, and 6:30 left on the go. Left on the play clock. There's certainly a good amount of time left to go for the Eaves. Again, they run a mostly run-centered offense, but with a significant amount of time their possession, it's just about even at this point. 26-57 for the Eaves and 26-33 for the Jumbos. The end-over-end kick is fair caught at the 5. So it'll be a touchback for the Eaves with the new college rule. They'll be out at the 25 with Bobby Mamarin looking to get things done for the Eaves, at least get into field goal range for Sal Lococo. And we saw it earlier Lococo hit the crossbar on a 44-yarder. So if the target is a 44-yard kick, Mamaron's got to get him at least to the 27.
Yep, a big drive here for the Eaves. Truly, clock is ticking. All of a sudden, it's late in this game, and the Jumbos have the momentum on their side now. Let's see if they can hold on to it.
And Mamaron hands it off to his man, Joel Nicholas, in the middle, who barrels over one.
Joel Nicholas hit the truck stick there, able to flatten a defender and pick up a first down. A really good way to start the drive if you're the Eaves.
And a gain of 10 suddenly puts Williams at the 35-yard line.
Nicholas has almost carried this offense the past couple of drives. Obviously, it's going to be the Bobby Mamaron show, but when Joel Nicholas has gotten touches, he's been dangerous.
Now Mamaron set back, Nicholas to his left. They fake it to him, caught by Stola, who just about falls for a first down, but just short. It'll be a gain of 9 on the play. Bobby Mamaron finally showing what he can do with that arm. 164 passing yards all of a sudden, and most of those coming in the second half.
Another 2nd and 1. This time it's at the 44 of the Eaves. I can see them trying something here and going for a bit of a deeper pass. Let Mamaron roll out and take a shot.
Now Mamaron set back, 2 men in motion. That's Burke and Bedard. Mamaron rolls out to his right. Nenadovic was held, but the ball downfield almost caught by Stola, but knocked out by the Jumbos. That's Cam O'Brien from New Orleans. And Nenadovic has a word with the official as well. He felt what I saw, but no call. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Williams Eaves.
Great play there by Cam O'Brien to come over the top and knock the ball free. And this is a big 3rd down, and the Jumbo crowd is going crazy.
And the Williams Eaves getting a little bit of a lucky break there. That could have been backed up to be about 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11. But now Mamaron back to receive the snap. He's got it, hands it off to Nicholas. He's got a hole, picks up the first down, and then some more, just about 10 more now into Jumbo territory.
Nice run there by Dan Vaughn. We've seen less of him in this half and more of Nicholas. Vaughn there getting pay dirt on that 3rd and short, able to pick up first down and then some.
And again, set up by Nicholas previously. Stola now in the slot. To his right is DeGasperis. Now Mamaron. He's got it on the outside. Finds his man, DeGasperis, who's forced out of bounds by Brandon Jones.
Mamaron has looked dangerous rolling out to his right so far this game. I think that if you're the Williams staff, that has to be something that you draw more plays with. Maybe not this week, but maybe next.
Now 4:20 left to go in this one. Still 37 yards till the end zone. 2 for a first down, rather 1 for a first down here.
Really
and suddenly
important.
It's getting late.
This is these next 15 yards are really important for the Jumbos to stay out of their own red zone.
Now Mamaron. He's got it back. Looking deep. One man got through. Still some pressure. Mamaron takes it himself with the legs.
This is what's so dangerous about the running quarterback. The play is never dead. Mamaron there doing a really nice job of keeping his eyes up, not running early, but seeing later that there were no options, taking it himself, picking up an easy first down. And again, if you get this team within the 20, they're very hard to stop because of the downhill running nature of their team.
Now Bobby Mamaron with Nicholas to his right. 3:25 left to go. He gets the snap, hands it off to Nicholas, who is stood up but keeps those legs moving and finally brought down. These refs have let the pile move for quite some time in this game.
Really strong run there by Nicholas on first down.
Nenadovic calling for a substitution. That's Javi Rios, the sophomore from Walpole, Massachusetts, coming in. Nedovic wants to be in there when it counts most, maybe a couple yards more downfield, but the Eaves on the Jumbo 28 with just over 2 minutes left to go. Jumbos need to hold the Eaves under 7 here. Got to keep them out of the end zone if they want a shot at this one. Mameron set back. He takes the snap.
Vaughn was met in the backfield. A nice play by the Jumbo defense, and it's a big third down here.
And a little bit of extracurricular activity once again between Jason Nadancy and Mike DeGasperis, but Javier Rios coming in and making an immediate impact. Nedovic back in on third down.
Nadancy, sorry there, Sam. Nadancy may have been lucky there to not get called with an unnecessary roughness.
A huge 3rd and 5 here for the Jumbos on the 28-yard line. Bobby Mameron looking to get things done for the Eaves, set in the backfield. He takes the snap, gives it to Nicholas, who powers through for the first down. And some more roughness between the Eaves and the Jumbos. Game getting a little chippy here. 1:40 left to go. And the Eaves will bring that one just about to the Jumbo 20. But Gio Arquia on the tackle. That clock is continuing to tick. 1:30 left to go. The Eaves have themselves exactly where they want them here. They figure you can't get in the end zone, you just kick it.
Right, this is a really interesting chess match between the two coaches, both holding on to all 3 timeouts.
Of course, Coach Savetti having all the faith in his team. Just over a minute left to go. Bobby Mameron looking for Stola. Nedovic in the backfield, and that play is broken up. Great job by the Jumbos breaking up the play, but Mameron just deciding to throw it out of bounds. 1:01 left on the clock, and it's 2nd and 10.
This is a big play here for the Jumbos. If they can stop the Eaves' forward progress and give them a 3rd and long, it puts a lot of pressure on them and changes the play call significantly. It's clear that the Eaves would rather run the ball on these 3rd and mids. If it can be 3rd and long, they're going to be forced to throw it.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Williams College Eaves. Bobby Mameron set back for another snap. The experienced senior hands it off, and he's met with some force. Couple of yards on the pickup. It'll be 3rd and 6, and Williams calling a timeout. 54 seconds left here in the game. The Williams College Eaves opting to take a timeout here. And again, as you said, we've got a bit of a coaching chess match. 54 seconds left on the clock. Jumbos lead by 3. And he's got all the faith in the world in his place kicker, Ivan Shurin, who's hit a 44-yarder already today.
So, interesting play here, right? You have Bobby Mameron is obviously an athletic quarterback and one that can throw the ball. On the last 3rd and 5, they went back to Nicholas. They ran the ball with Nicholas up the middle, and the Jumbos looked unsuspecting. I can't imagine they won't be prepared for that here, but I would bet that this will be a rollout from Mameron and try and find a receiver downfield.
And Mark Raymond, the head coach of the Williams College Eaves, certainly drawing up the same couple of plays between Mameron and his running backs, both Joel Nicholas and Dan Vaughn. Both of them have been weapons in this one. And the Jumbo crowd is getting loud here on 3rd and 6. 54 seconds left to go. Jumbos lead by 3. But Bobby Mameron is set back, and he's certainly threatening. One man in motion. They fake it to him. And Nedovic gets through, and a broken play just thrown away by Bobby Mameron. It'll be 4th and 6, and we'll see what Coach decides to do here. Of course, Mark Raymond has the option to go to his kicker, but once again, this is a freshman rookie kicker in Ivan Shurin, who has been very sure-footed so far today.
Ivan Shurin coming on this time. That was a great defensive stand by the Jumbos there. They needed it, and all the pressure's on the left foot of Ivan Shurin right now.
And a 33-yarder for number 4, Ivan Shurin. Bad snap, but that one's up. And it looks like Coach Savetti maybe got off a timeout to ice the kicker, and he did just that. So the good kick is wiped off the board. Ivan Shurin is going to have to come back and do it again.
Interesting choice there by Coach Savetti, right? On one hand, you have 47 seconds, and if this kick is good, you're going to want to go down the field and set up an opportunity for your kicker. He sees it as worth it to play mental games with the freshman kicker here. Shurin now having to think about it for a second and try and make a 33-yarder for a second time.
Right, and at this point, it's all about mental toughness. Who's going to give an inch to get an inch? Who's going to give just that little bit extra more? Ivan Shurin, the sure-footed lefty, has got to put this one up and through to give the Williams College Eaves a shot at overtime here at the Ellis Oval. 47 seconds left on the clock. 4th and 6. Ivan Shurin. It's unclear what the officials are asking. But
they're
rather
asking the clock to be reset to 54 seconds, I believe.
And that is certainly the wrong amount of time. I believe I remember 48 before the kick, but they'll reset it to 54. And rather they send it back to 47 seconds left on that clock. Ivan Shurin still back to kick, and the more they tinker with this clock, the more time he has to think about it. Again, the sure-footed left. Shurin now looking to make a 33-yarder, send this one to overtime potentially. Shurin, that's up, and it's straight through the uprights. Ivan Shurin, not even thinking about it a little bit, ties this one up.
Ice cold from Ivan Shurin.
And tied at 26 are the Jumbos and the Williams College Eaves. And with 43 seconds left in this ball game, the Jumbos are looking to find themselves a way to get into field position so that Patrick Walsh can knock one through. I remember seeing Walsh in warm-ups during halftime, hitting them from 30 yards. So it looks like we'll set that field goal target line at the 30-yard line, see if Walsh can knock a 47.
Right. It's this is a very important possession for Coach Savetti's team. They'd rather not go to overtime, right? Anything can happen in overtime, especially with the ball in the hands of Bobby Marin starting at the 25. O.J. Armstrong's back here. Look for him to take a chance, bring a ball out if there's any chance that he can make something happen.
Now, the most recent kick return touchdown that the Jumbos have had has actually come through the hands of Tyler Johnson. He went for an 100-yard kick return touchdown in the 2019 season as a freshman. But O.J. Armstrong, with the speed, is set back to return this kick, and another one will come off the foot of the sure-footed Ivan Shurin. We take you back to the live stats. So far, leading the game for the Jumbos in rushing. That's Tyler Johnson, 20 attempts for 99 yards, an average of just under 5 per carry. And now Shurin getting ready to kick this one off. Matt Crowley now leads the Jumbos in passing yards with 140. One passing touchdown for him as well. And Armstrong in the back of the end zone. That'll be a touchback and a flag for some extracurricular activity. Williams pleading their case, but that could be a costly penalty. Certainly, when all you got to do is get between the 25 and the 30-yard line for kicker Pat Walsh.
Right. Again, here just to highlight, what a job by Ivan Shurin. First of all, knocking that through, and then that kick to the back of the end zone, making it so O.J. Armstrong had no opportunity to bring it out. Really impressive stuff from the freshman. And that's a big penalty against Williams. That's going to start this drive at the Jumbo 40-yard line. They have a real chance here. Look for them to get the ball out of Crowley's hands quickly, maybe into the hands of Phil Lutz or O.J. Armstrong.
And with 2 timeouts left and 43 seconds left, the Jumbos look to get into field position for their kicker, Pat Walsh. It'll be Matt Crowley back behind center with Tyler Johnson in the backfield. The sophomore, number 15, Matt Crowley, again from St. John's Prep, looking to get things going. Blair Horning, the center. O.J. Armstrong in motion. And now Crowley takes the snap. Set back. The Eaves with some pressure. Crowley rolls out. Looks for his man. That was Phil Lutz, but unable to connect. Now 37 seconds left.
A good smart play there by Crowley. He made a throw that was out of danger, was probably low probability to have caught, but you lose 6 seconds. That's about the only downside there. Smart play by Crowley to not take any other chances downfield or allow himself to potentially get sacked.
Right, and now 2nd and 10 for Crowley. Jumbo's at their own 40-yard line. They've got about 30 to go to make this an interesting field goal. Crowley hit as he throws, and Phil Lutz unable to reel that one in, certainly short of him, but Crowley doing a great job getting that ball out. Sack could have been costly there, but now 3rd and 10 for the Jumbos. That one only ticked off a couple seconds.
That's a shame there. Lutz had a little bit of space. Crowley just had a quarter of a second too little time, unable to hang in the pocket for just that much longer and make the throw. Good pressure there from the Williams defensive line.
And Tufts deciding to bring in Josh Merriweather for Phil Lutz. Go a little bit bigger here. Matt Crowley. He takes the snap. They give it to Johnson, who runs. He stood up, keeps his legs moving, though. And the Jumbos are brought down. It's 4th and 10 with 26 seconds left.
Williams is going to call a timeout here. That possession really did backfire on Coach Savetti. You have to wonder what the thought process is there on running it on 3rd down, not running it on 2nd. 2nd down, potentially you catch this Williams defense off balance and potentially have a big game with Tyler Johnson still able to use your timeouts. Now they're giving the Bobby Mammerin a little bit of time. You have to execute the punt here. I think that's probably what they're going to be most focused on. They'll probably have a max protect because the nightmare scenario is not getting off your punt, having it blocked. The snap and the punt away is the most important thing here. 25 seconds, obviously not much time, but it is time.
Now Patrick Walsh, number 98 for the Jumbos, is set back to punt. Walsh also now taking the kicking duties after Lococo missed his first 3 attempts, 2 on the extra point and 1 on a field goal try. Again, you put those 5 points back on the board, and this is certainly a different game. But Patrick Walsh now, he's back. Off his foot.
That's a good
Frank
punt.
Stola back. He's got it. And trying to blow it up in the backfield. We've got an illegal block in the back. Jack Racine, the gunner, trying to bring down Stola, but he was blocked illegally. So Stola comes down at around the 20, but it looks like this could be moved back another 10.
That is exactly what the Jumbos needed there. They needed a good solid punt away by Walsh. Walsh did it. A little bit of hang time as well. The clock is down to 17 seconds now, and this ball will probably end up, I think, at the 9-yard line. So it's going to start at the 9-yard line. You have to wonder if Williams will just take a knee here and send it to overtime. I think that would probably be the strategy that makes the most sense, and it looks like they are in a formation to kneel this ball and send it to overtime. A good timeout by the Williams coaching staff to necessitate a punt because there's so much that can go wrong. Took a chance, now knee it, and we're going to go to overtime here at Ellis Oval.
And again, the college overtime rules significantly different from the NFL overtime rules. But the Jumbos will have a chance to upset the Williams College Eaves at home. Williams again 1-0 atop the NESCAC so far. The Jumbos 0-1. But the end of regulation with a score of 26-26 will bring the captains out once again for another coin toss as we head to overtime.
Right, and this is a really interesting overtime because the area where the Jumbos have had the most trouble so far with Bobby Mammerin has been in the red zone. That's about where you start. You start on the 25 in the college overtime system. So this is going to be a really interesting overtime period. We'll see what the Jumbos do. We'll see who has the ball to begin.
Bobby Mameron, 181 yards throwing with a touchdown. Joel Nicholas, 90 yards rushing on 21 attempts with a touchdown. And, of course, the number 2 runner, Bobby Mameron, once again, 55 yards. His longest has been 10. 1 touchdown for him as well.
Yeah, Mameron, obviously a threat. He's been a thorn in the side of the Jumbos all day. They've done an excellent job containing what may be one of the best players in the NESCAC, and they're going to be tasked with doing it again at least once more in this overtime period.
Now the Jumbos will send out Mike Padrini for the coin toss. Padrini, again, hurt today, so he's not out on the field for Tufts. Coming out for Williams is Bobby
Mameron and
Who else?
TJ Rothman out there.
Who else than Bobby Mameron? They even trust him with the coin toss.
Williams, you have the choice. Heads or tails?
TJ Rothman out him with as well. The call is heads. After the coin toss,
Heads.
it is heads. And Williams, it's unclear as we lost the microphone connection, but the Jumbos will receive, as Mike Padrini says. So the Jumbos will start in the red zone. Matt Crowley, the sophomore quarterback for the Jumbos, first time in overtime, seeing some of his first game action in the NESCAC. Played a bunch last weekend against mostly number 2s, but playing today against the number 1 defense of the Williams College Eaves.
Yeah, what an introduction into NESCAC football for Matt Crowley today. Obviously playing last week, but today taking over in this second half. He's played great football, especially of late, and it's going to be really important to start out well in this overtime period. Obviously, the goal here is 7 on the board, put the pressure on Williams, and make them do the same.
Now Crowley with Tyler Johnson to his right, Billy Dunn at the bottom of your screen, O.J. Armstrong as well. Crowley, some pressure, hits the referee in the middle of the field when he was looking for Phil Lutz. That's certainly a tough break for the Jumbos. The official in the middle of the field, that would have hit him straight in the hands if he didn't duck down.
Yeah, that's a very tough play. It looks like it may have been a little out in front of Lutz, but I think it's a catch he would have made. Really nothing you can do there. Just a tough break for the Jumbos.
I mean, welcome to the referee show, I guess. Certainly tough. He's got to get out of the way of that one. Matt Crowley now back on 2nd and 10. He takes the snap. That one thrown to the feet of O.J. Armstrong. He grabs it after some pressure from Crowley. Looked like a little bit of a late hit, but Crowley up. No worse for the wear. O.J. Armstrong with the catch. He's trying to plead his case for the catch, and they do rule it a catch.
Interesting to not go to Johnson on either of these 2 plays to start it out. We've seen them kind of abandon the run ever since Crowley came into the game. It's been very interesting, but Johnson's back there on 3rd.
Now Crowley. We've got 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Crowley. That one up, looking for his man. Did not look for the ball, so it could be a potential face guard. Looking for a flag is Butler, but does not get one.
Now it's a tough spot, and Pat Walsh is going to be tasked with a 40-yard field goal.
And Phil Lutz looked a little hobbled as he ran off. Certainly letting them play there at the end were the refs.
Yeah, that was a questionable one. I think that if Lutz had jumped back towards the ball, he would have gotten the call. He did not, was not able to, and it's going to be a field goal kick.
And Walsh That one up and straight through the uprights. A beautiful kick from number 98, Patrick Walsh. The sure-footed, right-footed kicker for the Jumbos, getting the job done. But now the Jumbos will be tasked with stopping the Eaves and keeping them out of the end zone.
Yeah, very big kick there for Pat Walsh. Helps out what was a pretty disappointing possession for the Jumbos. Now the defense has work to do. They need to make sure that at the worst, an Ivan Shurin attempt. But look for them to bring some pressure here and put some pressure on Mameron to make a throw, make it maybe questionable decision. He hasn't been pressured much of late. You have to think the Jumbo coaching staff will be scheming something up here to get him on his heels.
And so far, Jovan Nenadovic has been mostly silent on defense. Of course, had a couple of shots at the quarterback and giving some pressure, but only one tackle. Look for Nenadovic here. Over the middle, a pass caught by Stola.
And that is not a great start for the Tufts defense. That classic patented connection between Mameron and Stola is just too much to deal with. And Williams is within the 10 now.
Now we're down at the Tufts 8, so 1st and goal for the Eaves. That's Bobby Mameron back once again. Brandon Jones and Stola at the bottom of your screen. You can look there or at the top where you got DeGasperis, guarded by Nadancy. Mameron takes the snap. He'll take it himself. Beats one to the outside, but pushed back. Looks like forward progress will be stopped at about the 4. 2nd and 4, but Mameron on the run.
Yeah, that was a good pull there by Mameron. I think there was a little bit more room to the outside than there was to the middle. And a big 2nd and 4. You have to think that they're going to go to the big back Nicholas here.
And the Jumbos opting not to stack the box on that first play. We'll see where they go here. Nadancy one-on-one with DeGasperis. Stola set wide against Brandon Jones. Mameron. He's got it. Hands it off and gets in for the touchdown. And the Williams College Eaves have taken this one from the Jumbos here at the Ellis Oval. And a beautiful block to the outside. Joel Nicholas waltzing in for the touchdown. Final score here at the Oval is 32-29.
Really tough ending there for the Jumbos. Joel Nicholas just too much to handle, able to punch it in for the Eaves. A great game today. Both teams showed a lot of heart. The Jumbos fought back in the game. They were down without their starting quarterback, able to send this to overtime versus what is a very good Williams team. In the end, not the result they were looking for.
And in a make-or-break game for the NESCAC, for the Jumbos, they take a crushing defeat here at the Ellis Oval. Williams jumps out to 2-0, and the Jumbos fall to 0-2, making it extraordinarily difficult to be able to take this one. Beautiful showing from Tyler Johnson, the running back, but to no avail as Bobby Mameron leads this Williams College team to a victory. For all of us here at Tufts University and with Tufts JumboCast, thank you, Henry Stahl, for directing. I'm here with Noah Goldstein on the color commentary. I'm Sam Brill on the play-by-play. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.